in community, and community includes everyone.
Gavin White, Kerry captain, so captain of Munster champions and league champions. But we know there's only one cup that really means something down in the kingdom. We'll have to wait till late July to find out if they get that as well. But these two counties might have a say in that as well. Most fixtures, home advantage can be decisive, but when it comes to these two western neighbours, that is not the case. Galway did buck the trend last year with their victory in Salt Hill. We'll see if Mayo can do likewise when these two get underway in the Connacht final of 2025 at 4 o'clock. We do have a couple of late changes for Mayo. I don't think anybody will be surprised to see Diarmuid O'Connor does come in for a start. He's obviously struggled with injury. He comes in for Dylan Thornton. Sam Callanan drops out in preference for Rory Brickenden. Why do you think that is?
Well, obviously one is maybe a potential injury. For me, looking at the goal of big men, 6 foot plus. Rory is 6'3" or 4", so I'm going to suggest maybe that's the reason around the middle third for kick-outs and to negate the likes of Cian Darcy, John Maher and these lads. So that's potentially one issue, but for this guy to be back, I think is huge. He was out buying the milk this morning in Sintra. I had the pleasure of meeting him.
What did he tell you, Lee?
He didn't tell me nothing, but no, he looks in good shape. A real leader for Mayo, and I think he's going to be pivotal if Mayo are going to get over the line today. And
of course we have Paddy Durkin on the bench, who's another man who suffered even more with injuries. Do you think we're likely to see him?
Hopefully, because if the game's in the melting pot and he's going to inject pace into the Mayo to break that Galway line, he's a phenomenal person to have on the bench. But the atmosphere here is absolutely building. It's a gorgeous day. It's a big gust of wind, but the crowds are filling up. You can just feel that we're going to get a good one here.
Welcome to the West.
but you know what the funny thing is about this fixture, because people will have Galway well favourites. Why does it not tend to make a difference in the Connacht Championship when it comes to these two?
Listen, it's an age-old battle. I think people are so quick to judge Mayo on Leitrim's Sligo performance. The sight of a Galway jersey, people have to understand, this is our rivalry. This is what we really love. This is what we train for. And days like today are huge. So sometimes form goes out the window, and sometimes these games don't make sense, particularly McHale Park, as we know over the years. They don't make sense. Our home record isn't the greatest, as we mentioned, but when the sight of a Galway team comes and the talk around them and the contenders and where they're going, that's brilliant for Mayo. That gives them a huge incentive. And today, we haven't played Galway in the Connacht final since 14 here, so it's a huge atmosphere, huge occasion, and for this Mayo team to get that Connacht medal, it's crucial for me and their development. So
and of course Galway are looking to make history here as well by getting their 4th Connacht title in a row. There's no Damien Comer, who absolutely destroyed Mayo nearly single-handedly last year, and of course there's no Shane Walsh either.
Yeah, but when I look at this objectively, I just think there's a gap between the two sides. You know, there's a deficit in quality on Mayo's side versus Galway, but exactly like Lee said, a little bit like when you seen the Dublin jersey under your team, it just brought out the best in these two teams. Brings it down to a ground battle, brings it down to, a battle of attrition, and, we know when Mayo are in those types of battles, they're going to come out fighting. The midfield, we talk about Galway's midfield, we look at it a little bit more. But again, when you think about Mayo, they are going to compete. They're not going to stand back like Roscommon did. So that's what makes it all a bit more appetising.
There's a little bit of a dig sent your way there, Lee. I don't know if you noticed that.
I heard, don't worry.
They're coming my way too today.
I don't know if this is a good segue, but speaking of digs, no. There's currently a Tyrone man who's in between the rival factions out there on the pitch, because Enda McGinley is with Damien O'Meara.
Thank you, Joanne. We're providing target practice for the Galway goalkeeper, so this could go horribly wrong in a second or two. Paul mentions the atmosphere. 18,000 expected midweek, 22,000 sold as the teams were arriving. There's a mini marathon in town. It was Mayo Day yesterday. They expect the crowd with the walk-up potentially to reach maybe 24, 25. Enda McGinley has mentioned alongside me. The very first thing that strikes you is not the atmosphere, it's not the warm-up, it's that breeze. If you're Pádraig Joyce in particular with the 2-pointers, you want Sean Kelly winning the toss and you want to play from the town end to the Albany end.
Potentially, I think there will be an advantage for whatever team is playing with that win in the second half, because games usually start getting tight, and if you're playing with that win in the back and you're chasing down a lead in the second half and you get within striking distance, that's a good position to be. But the wind is going to be massive, whoever's got it, both in terms of what it does for your shooting. Obviously the 2-pointers are opening up, but as the team presses out on you, there could be gaps in behind. But for the goalkeepers today, the kick-outs, we know how important the kick-out is. We know how strong Galway in particular are far across that midfield sector. So trying to land those kickouts with any sort of accuracy with wind like that and get the distance on them is going to be very, very difficult.
So we've a 13th successive year of championship meetings, a 95th meeting in all. Last year, Salt Hill is the most recent championship outing we can to put the two teams side by side. Is there a strong argument Galway have progressed? Have Mayo fallen off?
I think Galway are certainly very, very strong. Obviously, last year's All-Ireland campaign was blighted by injury. Now, you could argue with Shane Walsh and Damien Comer missing today, is it seriously different this year? But they look stronger in general, particularly that middle eight that everybody sort of talks about. They're looking phenomenally strong. Mayo seem to be stuttering along, and I think that's where the pressure comes on them, that today is really a day for them to produce a performance. I think everybody knows Galway will be contenders, whatever the result is today, but the eyes are really on Mayo.
Yeah, and they're all looking at that silverware. They all want to bring it home. No one's looking at permutations and which group they'll end up in. We're almost set for the off-air end is going to be on co-commentary duty, and as mentioned by Joanne, we can get confirmation on those changes and the two teams from our match commentator, Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Damien O'Mara. Let's look at Mayo first. Goalkeeper Colm Reap has clearly established himself as first choice keeper. The Knockmore man's contribution has been huge, and indeed in the league final against Galway 2 years ago he was outstanding and won the Man of the Match award. The Mayo full back line of Jack Coyne, Donncha McHugh and Enda Hession are a rock solid trio that perform their primary defensive duty impressively but can score occasionally if required. David McBride is undoubtedly a key figure at centre back in this Mayo team. Rory Brickenden from Westport is now named at wing back instead of Sam Callanan, while at number 7 Stephen Cohen is a real leader. Diarmuid O'Connor is a late replacement for Dylan Thornton, and he joins Matthew Ruane, and both their performances individually and collectively in the middle of the field will be crucial for the green and red. Darren McHale leads the Mayo attack down the middle, but at 10 and 12 are two footballers, David Neary and Jordan Flynn, that may trouble Galway this afternoon. Jack Carney is a top-class footballer either at full forward or at centre field, but look who the two corner forwards are, Aidan O'Shea and Ryan O'Donoghue. Different styles, but equally effective. On the bench, the return of Paddy Durkin definitely gives Mayo options, but so too does the presence of Conor Reid, Paul Towie and Frank Irwin. Very similar to the Mayo keeper, Conor Gleeson is number 1 in Galway these days and has won that jersey through hard work and good performances. 12 months ago, he was the Galway hero with the winning free in the last kick of the game. When Galway won the Under-20 All-Ireland title 5 years ago, they were the full back line. In 2025, this mighty trio, Johnny McGrath, Sean Fitzgerald, Jack Lynn, are back together again. Sean Mulcairns from the Aran Islands will wear the number 6 jersey, with two All-Stars, Dylan McHugh and Liam Silk, on either side of him. Footballer of the Year 2024, Paul Conroy, will be joined by the Galway captain Sean Kelly in that crucial area centre field, especially now under the new rules. John Maher from Salt Hill Knocknacarra is at centre forward and will no doubt have a huge influence. Cian Darcy and Killian McDade will operate in the wings. There is no Damien Coper, there is no Shane Walsh, but yet the Galway full forward line have potential match winners in Matty Tierney, Rob Finnerty and the new kid on the block, Matthew Thompson. The Galway team and substitute bench 16 to 26 look very strange without Damien Comer or Shane Walsh, but it still has players like Carl Sweeney, John Daly, Tom O'Culhan or Peter Cook who can make an impact. So now let's hear from both managers shortly, Pádraig Joyce, but first Damien O'Mara spoke to the Mayo manager Kevin McStay.
Kevin, big occasion and a very, very significant prize on offer for either side.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's been amazing how fast the 12 months have come around for us, and we feel we're ready now. No excuses, that's for sure. So really ready to drive after the Nestor Cup now. It's a big moment for the group.
Do you talk about last year at all as motivation?
No, but it earmarks, a moment in the season when both teams took, say, a different path. So we know it's a big prize, but we're just exclusively interested in today's prize.
Pádraig, very impressive run over the course of the championship already. Is momentum today as big a prize as silverware?
Yeah, look, it's a Connacht final for us at the end of the day, and we want to win it. We're here to win it. I'm sure Mayo the same, so momentum is always great. We know last year when we won it, we got a serious kick of momentum for the year went on, so look, we're looking for the same again today.
Without giving away the game plan, tactically, what are the key battles that Mayo have to win today in order to leave here with silverware?
Look, that's house business, if you like, Damien. I'm not going to go into that detail, but what I will say is it'll all be predicated on energy and enthusiasm and the physical want for the prize that's at stake, and I have no sense we'll be found wanting in any of those areas.
Ultimately, it's the rivalry that has defined an awful lot of careers within both counties. Does form to an extent go out the window, or do you have an extra word with players today about focus and the job in hand?
Look, Damien, I've been involved long enough now with Galway, between playing and managing, to know that form does go out the window these games. I know we're probably hot favourites for the game today, which is surprising that we are, but at the same time we've overturned better Mayo teams in the past in my time, and they've overturned good Galway teams. So look, we know the last 3 meetings we've had, it's the same group of players, 3 or 4 different bodies in each side, and there's been a kick at the ball in it. So look, we're expecting no different today. It's going to go down to the wire, and the team that has the most composure and does the right things in the pressure situations will win the game.
And of course there are big decisions to be made all of the time, including when the coin is tossed. Is it a gamble to go play into the wind, which it looks like Stephen Cohen has chosen to do, Lee?
Yeah, it is. They're obviously expecting that breeze to hold up very strongly second half. It's going to be a tough ask. Galway are brilliant at those 2-pointers. We know Paul Conroy is well capable of them. Matthew Turney. That wind is strong. For people that are watching telly, that wind is huge. You're watching Galway in this side taking shots. It is travelling. So Mayo are going to have to be hot on their heels around that 2-point arc. Even if they concede a couple of singles, fine, fair enough. But that 2-point mark in the first half, particularly from a Mayo defensive perspective, is huge.
And presumably it means we're going to see lots of long kick outs coming from Galway. We've heard all this talk about how they destroyed Roscommon. Do you see them having a similar impact around there, or at least Cian Darcy getting the same amount of space that they got?
I think Mayo are going to see this as going after one of the key strengths for Galway, if you ask me. Roscommon made it too easy for Galway, and I can see you see McStay there. It's all about energy, it's all about determination, and that's what they're going to need to compete for those kickouts and to also win the ground battle. It's going to be critical. Interestingly, the 2 different angles from managers. On one side you're talking about energy from McStay, and with Joyce it's all about composure. And to me it's about composure in the last quarter. It's going to be needed in this game. But look, we're all teed up here now for a phenomenal battle.
We'll give a little insight into the personality of Lee Keegan. Lee, you don't care where anybody's from. If you like a footballer, you like a footballer. And I don't think I've heard you speak more highly about anybody than you do about Johnny McGrath. And his battle with Ryan O'Donoghue could decide where this Leinster Cup goes today.
Absolutely. Ryan is the figurehead for Mayo. End of story. He's their leader, he's their linchpin, he's their talisman for scoring. But for me, Johnny McGrath is one of the top man markers I've seen. He's a sprinter by trade, but in their tussles, particularly last year, it's as tenacious, getting hands in, contact. And for Mayo to be in this game, Joanne, it is imperative that their game plan suits Ryan O'Donoghue. If they're going to run it consistently, then this becomes null and void. This suits Galway. Well, first half they're going to have to run a bit, but they need to get Ryan on the ball. He is huge to what Mayo are going to do today, and that battle is going to be a key decider on that.
I'm going to give another plug to Eamon Donoghue on the RT website. But he has this incredible stats piece to do with the two of them. In 5 games in total where Ryan O'Donoghue's come up against Johnny McGrath, O'Donoghue's got 3 from play and 3 marks across the 5 games.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. He's and even in the Roscommon game, he was doing a job on Ben, and he shut him down for half the game. There was moments of the game where he was in trouble. I expect that to be the case today, where it's a bit of a seesaw battle, whereby Ryan O'Donoghue has got some good plays. But look, for me, I find it hard, even taking all the emotional side, I find it hard to see a Mayo win here today. I just feel like Galway are just that much more experience banked. They've got the players, they're very strong all the way through the lines. And I think the word the Paul Joyce used, they're going to have that bit more composure when it's needed today.
Lee, you noticed something as well. I mean, talk about we mentioned digs earlier on. Before they did their official warm-ups, Rob Finnerty was out taking frees. Yeah. What did you notice?
He's as cheeky as they get. I tell you, if he starts rubbing my hair after one of the shots, he'd get it back. There's a bit of shit horsery going around with all this. So, but that's the classic Mayo Galway.
This is because Colin Reap and the backroom team were in the goal at the time, warming up.
Yeah, and this is the fun part with Mayo Galway. You just don't know what you're going to get. And Rob Finnerty was keen to get that little dig in earlier, I think, as well. So, but again, if you're talking about key figureheads today, this guy is some footballer if he's allowed to play the way he's allowed to play. And against Roscommon, he was absolutely electric. So he needs to be shackled early in this game and not have the influence he's had so far.
And the link-up play with young Matthew Thompson, I think he's been phenomenal this year. Only coming from the 20s last year. He's a club mate of Finnerty's, I believe, and there's been a lovely link-up play there. Matthew Tierney as well, he scored, I think, 2-7 over 2 games.
I haven't mentioned John Maher yet.
We could go through the lines with Galway, and that's the thing about it. When you do look at it objectively, you just can't, it's hard to look further than Galway. But as I said many times already, that sometimes can go out the window. With big games like this, big crowd, you can hear the atmosphere is down to...
You can hear it because the two teams and the band are about to come right behind our position here at the side of the pitch in McHale Park. What difference does that crowd make? Because, Lee, you just have this dreadful record in general in Castlebar.
Stop reminding me, please. We do. But again, I'm a bit more. I know Galway are better balance, but the thing with Mayo is when they throw the shackles off and bring that energy and a bit of madness, because that's what Mayo do. They're really good. This crowd then really gets on top of the other team, and then you can see a huge momentum swing then. So that's going to be key for Mayo. If they're playing with the passive, slow, monotonous build-up, this crowd will get on top of us and give us grief then. So it's key in terms of how Mayo are going to play today and set up.
So do you think they'll concede the kick out there because they're playing against the wind in the first half? Can you see them conceding the kick out?
I think there'll be a mix. I think they're going to try and figure that out early. I think the thing with Galway is they want to go long anyway. Yeah. So I think Galway might even just skip the short kick out and go long because that's their strengths. Why wouldn't they want to use it early on in the game, especially with this win? So.
And what a look into the personalities of the two of you and the two teams that you played with. We got there, Paul saying that the composure is going to be key, and Leah saying throw in a bit of madness. Let's see which of these works, because we're not far away from throwing. Up to our commentary team, Enda has made his way up to Martin.
Thank you very much, Joanne. It is one of the greatest rivalries in Gaelic football. Think in days gone by, Cork Kerry, Dublin Meath, Armagh Down, or indeed Derry Tyrone. Up there at the top of the mountain with them all will be Galway Mayo. They are neighbours, the banter is great, the pride is intense, and they nearly know each other rather well, which makes victory both imperative and glorious, and losing absolutely heartbreaking. They first met in 1902, 123 years ago. They last met, of course, last year. With Galway Mayo, as the lads were saying, form goes out the window. Both counties are normally inspired to play above themselves when they see the colour of their opponents' jerseys, either the maroon and white or the green and red. I would expect this today to be no different. Galway are the form side, All-Ireland finalists 2024, and they honestly feel that they left the Sam Maguire behind them, although I'm sure Armagh would disagree. But they have looked good at times despite the absence of their dynamic duo Damien Comer and Shane Walsh up front. Mayo were sluggish at the beginning, but of course they did get to the league final. The Great Western rivals meet for the 13th successive year in the championship. And funny enough, despite that intense relationship between the counties, they actually haven't met in a Connacht final here at Castlebar in 11 years. In 2014, when Mayo won by 7 points. I'm joined by Enda McGinley from Tyrone, an All-Ireland medalist himself. I know you were talking to my colleague Damien O'Mara, but that wind is a mega factor. But are you surprised that Mayo won the toss and decided to play against it?
Well, part of me isn't. I think it depends the situation within your team at any given moment. So if your team is maybe shy of confidence, then getting out and going after, getting scores on the board for Mayo, maybe getting the crowd into it today, I could see certainly an argument that Mayo maybe should have played with it. But equally, most games come down the stretch. We always talk about games coming down the stretch. Well, in the second half, if you get momentum at the right time, the crowd up and that wind on your back, you can make serious inroads onto a scoreboard. And then if it does become all square or a 1-point game coming down to death, well, that wind is going to be a serious advantage. Will it be as strong in the second half? Going by the weather reports we're seeing, it appears to be. But certainly, look, it's going to be a massive factor. It would appear to favour Galway. Like Galway have hit 36 2-pointers this year to Mayo's 12, I was reading during the week. That's a massive difference. Galway's one of the best teams in the country at the 2-pointers, so you would think the win would be advantage Galway.
So Enda McGinley, you've transferred from Tyrone to Mayo. You're now the Mayo manager, and you had the choice, with or against the wind?
I would go with it, I have to say. In Mayo's circumstance, I would go with it to try and get the crowd up and get into it, and then go backs against the wall in the second half.
We'll see if the decision was a good one, because of course the wind could decrease over the next 70 minutes. A glorious day here in County Mayo. Temperatures about 16-17 degrees. The green and red of Mayo and the maroon and white of Galway, traditional as we mentioned it, but there is always something special about being in Castlebar for a Connacht football final. Galway bidding for 4 in a row. Hasn't been achieved in since the magic years of Galway football, 1963, 64, 65 and 66. Galway going for their 51st provincial title today and 4 in a row. 2022, 23, 24 and 25. Is that possible to happen? Of course it is, if they produce the performance today. It'll be the first time in 59 years since that was achieved. Of course, Mayo, their arch rivals, they have the job to try and stop them. Mayo going for their 48th Connacht title and their first since 2021. The buzz around Castlebar since early this morning has been electric. They might know each other rather well, but they still have a special moment when the Connacht finals in Castlebar. There's going to be a moment of silence now for Tommy Keenan from Dunmore McHale in County Galway, won 2 All-Ireland medals in the 1960s, captain Galway to a Connacht title in 1970. A wonderful clubman. We pass on our sympathies to his wife Eileen, daughter Mary, and sons Henry, Francis, Thomas and Brian. And we also think of John Lee from Galway, a former Sligo goalkeeper, and Mark Cunningham from the Connacht GA official. We pass on our deepest sympathies to all their families. Also, sad news this week, 16-year-old from Westport who died suddenly on Tuesday evening. That's Christopher Galvin, a transition year student at Rice College in Westport. He became ill while training with the Westport Miners and later passed away at Mayo University Hospital. His twin brother Michael is also part of the Westport Minor team. To his heartbroken parents, Michael and Karen, sisters Kathy and Emma, his twin brother Michael, we in RT Sport and Sunday Game want to pass on our deepest sympathies to you. I want you to know we are thinking of you today as Mayo play at this Connacht final and passing on our love to each and every one of you.
Another stalwart of the association, John played a role for Sligo from 1955 to 1960, including the Connacht final against Galway in 1956. After his playing career had finished, John became a respected referee, officiating in many high-profile games, including the Sligo County finals, an All-Ireland Colleges final, and the 1978 Railway Cup final. We also remember Gerard Cunningham of Glyn's, son of Lawrence Cunningham, a well-known Connacht GA steward and GA official. We offer our sincere sympathies to the Lee, Keenan and Cunningham families. Community of Trogra are an and Kajinish. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, Our Own Lillian.
The capacity here is 25,369, and there was a concern earlier this week that this Connacht final might not reach anywhere close to that particular number, but the sales this week have been brisk. So right now there's about a crowd of 22,000 here. After all, this is Mayo Galway. They don't normally have anybody sing around the vein because the crowd sing it, and it is quite spine-tingling. Paddy Nealon is the match referee. It's his very first Connacht final. He refereed Coola against Errigal Kieran. My friend beside me here was the manager of Errigal Kieran, and Enda McGinley. As to where we go, Mayo with Aidan O'Shea being moved immediately to the midfield area for the throw in. Laying it over to Ryan O'Donoghue. And as the lads were saying with Joanne, Mayo want to win this Connacht title. They're going to have to feed Ryan O'Donoghue as much as possible. Playing against the breeze in this first half. Jack Carney has already moved out around midfield as well, looking for possession. Ryan O'Donoghue is right beside him. Bell Mullivan gives it back into the centre, over towards Jordan Flynn. Made his championship debut against Leitrim back in 2020. Cutting through the middle is Enda Hession. He's able to score this man. He's taken down. It looked like it was a foul, no free given. Galway come forward. Is that a foul? That didn't look shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip. But Mayo would protest that the initial sequence of play there possibly should have been a free for Mayo.
Yeah, brilliant run by Enda Hessin, but just the solo went a wee bit too high and it evaded the tackle. There is up. The contact was to the body, so by Dylan McHugh.
Matthew Thompson comes looking for the possession. Just a 20-year-old from Salthill, Knocknacarra. Second year in the University of Galway. Lays it off to Dylan McHugh. All-Star 2024. Dropping it in. Easy ball for Colm Reap. And Mayo starts the movement again. This time it's Donncha McHugh. Playing in his home pitch just beside us here. Castlebar Mitchells.
Yeah, interesting. Dylan McHugh put on the brakes and shot that from outside the arc. He had plenty of space to go on, so very much an active decision to take the longer shot.
Jim O'Connor has suffered in recent times with injuries, so it's good to see him playing this Connacht final, starting from the very beginning. Jordan Flynn had a very good league campaign, getting involved in the play, laying it off, going for the return pass. Jim O'Connor trying to seek and find. There was a bit of holding. Good work indeed by Aidan O'Shea. He knew he was being fouled. The clenched fist indicated that he certainly was pleased, and the referee giving the free to Mayo, going to be taken by Ryan O'Donoghue.
Oh, it's a nice one for a forward to win that when you know that the referee has looked in and spotted your man holding you. Sean Fitzgerald in this case had a wee hold of Aidan O'Shea.
Scored 1 goal and 4 points against Sligo, 9 points against Leitrim on the journey here to the Connacht final. Starts the scoring in the Connacht final.
Lovely start by Mayo. That attack is really their textbook for this half. Take their time. There is no rush on their attacks at all. They want to take as much time every time they're on the ball because it reduces Galway's time on the ball and work your safe chances.
Conor Gleeson looking for the options, and considering his strong wind to his back, he goes for distance. Matthew Ruan. The temptation when an opposing player is going down on the ball is to push, but the real incentive is to pull the brakes and not to do that. Galway failed on this occasion. Jordan Flynn playing deep. Enda Hessin from Gary Moore. Rory Brickenden gets a touch. Ends up with Jordan Flynn again. David Neary. The referee's attention has been brought to something off the ball.
A potential 3-4 man breach, and it was. John Maher had slipped across. Now, in my opinion, he wasn't really a predictive, active part. He was out beyond the 4 metres that you're allowed, but he wasn't really an active part of the game. He wasn't certainly in a defensive position. But Mayo players made sure they were alerting the sideline official to it.
Good work by the sideline officials, which is David Coldrick and Niall Cullen from Fermanagh today. All-Star back in 2021, Ryan O'Donoghue. We'll say thank you very much for that. Second point of the game.
Gleeson's last kicked out like it was John Maher's just standing 3-4 metres his side of the 45-yard line. There's such a threat with that space in behind.
Conor Gleeson again goes for distance. Well gathered cleanly by Matthew Thompson. Lays it off as Killian McDade. McDade coming in that left flank. Gives the ball, goes for the return, doesn't gather it. Back out for us, John Maher. Coming from centre half back is Sean Mulcairn. Laying it off for us, Paul Conroy. He's been scoring 2-pointers for fun. And guess what? He's done it again.
He was standing over this side, he put the 2 arms up. There was only one thing in his mind the entire time, that attack in Galway. They were well inside, they didn't think, they wanted to come out round the arc, and sure enough, so that's Dylan McHugh and Conroy, both the only things in their minds has been the 2-pointers. David Reeves' first kick out, or Colm Reeves' first kick out, sorry, into the wind.
possibly see how strong the breeze is being held up here in front of us. Jack Carney is out there. That midfield area. He had a very good league campaign actually in the middle of the field. But with the new rules, I'd say Kevin McStay feels that he might be a better option at full forward, particularly in the second half, where I've no doubt he'll take up residence at the edge of the square. Ball in for David Neary. Great engine. Nice sidestep. Nice creativity as well. There's a clear shot, a goal! It's gone in! Darren McHale with his first goal in the Connacht Championship 2025. 4 points against Sligo, 1 point against Leitrim, and a cracking goal against Galway in the Connacht final.
If you could have written a script for what sort of start you wanted this game, here it is. Mayo playing into the teeth of a really strong wind. Goal to the good and well worked. David Neary, Darren McHale. Really nicely worked goal. Galway strangely open.
Johnny McGrath did his best to prevent it going over the line, but he couldn't with the power of Darren McHale's shot. We were all talking before the game about the strength of the breeze. Playing against the wind, Mayo are doing rather well. Here comes Rob Finnerty, putting the ball into the space. Nice combination with Matty Tierney. Mayo have the breaking ball. They'll be boosted psychologically with that wonderful goal by Darren McHale. David McBride is fouled on the edge of the D on the 20-metre line. So that's going to be a free, quickly taken. Play continues on. Galway man down injured inside in a large rectangle. And we'll continue on with Diarmuid O'Connor. Jordan Flynn. Quick hands for Matthew Ruad. Into Hessian. Heading towards the 20-metre line. Aidan O'Shea came looking for it, but he was being double marked at the time. Hessian decides to reverse. Ends up with Diarmuid O'Connor. Nice ball. Into the path of David Neary. Neary has earned his place all through the league campaign. Comes back out for Matthew Ruad. Like David Neary, a Braefy man from just down the road. Johnny McGrath picking up the loose ball. Ryan O'Donoghue will be disappointed. Johnny goes for the return. All-star cornerback 2024. Wonderful tight marker, but well able to go forward as well as he continues onto the Mayo 20-metre line. David McBride. There are no holes barred here. Galway come away with it. McBride is down injured. Referee has dropped his whistle. Meanwhile, the play continues on. He has the whistle and he's blown the whistle.
Big hits. I would have major issues with the tackle David McBride got. He was bent down over the ball and he got a sort of a frontal challenge, which for me, I suppose more than yesterday, it just speaks of head and neck injuries. It was Rob Finnerty was that Galway player was down on the 14-yard line. We obviously know he's got his injury history too, just like Damien Comer and Shane Walsh, his full forward line buddies, and he's still moving about fairly gingerly. It appeared to be his knee, which we know he had a bit of trouble with last year, so hopefully he's okay. But certainly David McBride took a really heavy hit. He was in exposed position. When you're bent down over a ball like that and a player comes in, I think it's a tackle we don't give enough respect to. We're very sharp on clothesline tackles and stuff like that, but that mechanism there is potentially more dangerous in truth.
He's a fine footballer. I remember he's scoring a goal against Galway, in fact, in the 2023 All-Ireland preliminary quarter-final, and he had the number 3 in his back. He was going down on the ball. This is a collision here.
Yeah, both of them were bent. They were both in the action of going for it, but you could see the contact on his head. But brilliant goal. You can see what it meant to them.
You can see that David McBride is heading towards the dressing room at the far side. The medical team doing their job professionally, making sure he's able to continue on. Aidan O'Shea, meanwhile, sending it up the ball for Stephen Cohen. Cohen giving it back to O'Shea. Two veterans of this Mayo side, but my God, what they've done over the years. So much of their time to Mayo football. Diarmuid O'Connor pursuing the dream of that All-Ireland. Right now it's a Connacht title that's at stake. Jordan Flynn sending it across, back to Aidan O'Shea. 34 years of age, will be 35 in June. gone for the return pass. Looking around for support. Jack Carney from Kilmena. Aidan O'Shea. Collision. Referee says continue on. Here's Aidan O'Shea. And Aidan O'Shea is judged to have been overcarried. It's a free out. Paddy Nealon was giving him the benefit of the doubt. But in the end, O'Shea overcarried.
Yeah, there had been a wee blatant sort of block or shield off out at the sideline, which probably could have been blue there. Just blocked off Sean Fitzgerald, but he did take a few steps too many.
Punch down, favours Mayo. Remember, in case you've just joined us on the Sunday game, Mayo are playing against a very strong win in this opening half. And they're doing rather well. All-Ireland finalists just under a little bit of pressure. Ball comes back for Zenda Hessian. Over towards Matthew Ruan, an all-star back in 2021. Such a pivotal player in this Mayo side. Into Aidan O'Shea. Sean Fitzgerald from Barnet trying to stay with him. Fitzgerald is a really good footballer. John Maher sending it down the wing. Coming across is Donnacha McHale. Galway has really established himself at number 3, which means that David McBride can be positioned at centre half back.
We're 11-12 minutes in. Galway have had such little time of actual possession on the ball, which is exactly what Mayo would be wanting.
Sam Callanan is there. He's obviously replacing David McBride for the moment. Ryan McDonough is a long way from the Galway goalposts. Diarmuid O'Connor. Jack Carney is available to his left. There's Jack getting into the picture now. On far is David Neary, going right, then going left, adding a lot of pace. Diarmuid O'Connor again. They recycle it. Back out far is Ryan O'Donoghue. Championship debutant 5 years ago against Leitrim. Ryan O'Donoghue from Belmullet. Beautiful part of the country. Here's Sam Callanan from Ballina. Aidan O'Shea thought about giving it. Sean Fitzgerald trying to stick with him. A little bit of holding. Still Aidan O'Shea. Volleyball style, gets it back. Picked up by Matthew Ruan. Quick hands. Stephen Cohen will calm things down. The captain of this Mayo side. Jack Carney looking around, anybody behind him? Not at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they should do. Safe in possession.
Jordan Flynn shooting. But the wind cut the ball and it heads to the right of the goalposts and wide. Referee Paddy Nealon insisting that the kick out be taken again. Not allowing the quick kick out to be taken.
Galway will have a bit of a decision to make in terms of how much pressure do they need to push up harder on Mayo to try and avoid Mayo being able to just control possession for 2-3 minutes at a time, because Galway is under pressure here to be in a decent lead at half time, you would imagine.
It's 8 minutes since Galway got a score. Considering the strength of the breeze, that will be a worrying concern for Pádraig Joyce. They retain the possession. They're fouled. Solo and goal. Killian McDade. Back out far as Kane Darcy. Come looking for it is Paul Conroy. Back to Darcy once again. Gillan McHugh loves to attack opposing defences, particularly down this right wing. Rob Finnerty looking at the options to his teammate and clubmate from Salt Hill, Knocknacarra. Back out for Ken Darcy. Paul Conroy. He's going for the two-pointer. This time it's with the left boot, but this time it's just inaccurate. Not very far away. I think Paul Conroy would appreciate the fact that the Galway would need a score at this stage. There's at least 9.5 minutes gone now.
Absolutely, and that's the tricky thing. The wind can mess with your head as much as anything and start forcing. We've seen Dylan McHugh take on a long range shot when he could have been a sure shot. Paul Conroy there, absolutely. Again, the 2-point, he's obviously brilliant, one of the best players in the country at the 2-pointers. But again, in terms of game management, Galway probably need to get scores on the board just.
Colm Reaps kick out, caught in the breeze, ends up just inside the 45-metre line. Stephen Cohen has gone back into a right half-back position. Goalkeepers available if required. It comes to Rory Brickenden. Under a little bit of pressure. Great pressure for Galway. Bursting through, still bursting through. Couldn't go any further. Had to be given the free.
Much better by Galway. Obviously the kick out had fallen short, and then they can put on a really hard press in there. That's really key for them, and again, the more often they can get it dead and put it on Colm Reaps' tee, then they can affect that really heavy press in the Mayo own half.
Paul Conroy will be 36 years of age in about 3 weeks' time, 18 days in fact. Scores his second 2-pointer. It brings a bit of confidence back to Galway now. They needed that score actually. Full of determination as per normal.
Galway zone 3 men, 3 big men between the 45 and 65.
Interesting as well ended that Galway are pushing up on Colm Reaps' kickouts because they realise the strength of the breeze and it's causing problems. There's a free for Galway.
Oh, it's absolutely key, and similarly Mayo are bringing out Aidan O'Shea, which is exactly what they should do, because it's going to be difficult for them to win the ball under that sort of pressure.
Footballer of the year last year, Paul Conroy. Over towards Liam Silk. Looking for openings in this Mayo defence. Good work again by Paul Conroy, getting past the first challenge. Rob Finnerty, acres of McHale Park in front of him, uses that up, goes for the return. Not possible on this occasion from Matthew Tierney. Sean Mulcairn going inside that 40-metre line. Another 2-pointer being attempted here. Is it inside the post? Just outside. It was worth a go. Just a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, definitely worth a go. What you'd love to see from Galway is, as Mayo, which they have to do, they have to keep pressure on those 2-point shooters outside the arc. There's bound to be wee spaces inside as well.
Again, Galway push up on Colm Reaps' kick out, with the result that the Mayo keeper has no option but to try and go long. And the breeze catches it yet again. Matthew Thompson. Rory Brickenden. Back in more familiar territory now in his own full back line. It's now 11 minutes since Mayo scored. The ball is dropping in. Oh, that's a beautiful, beautiful piece of footwork. There's only one man in the middle of the field for Galway can do that. Beautiful score.
Yeah, Paddy Nealon telling Colm Reap to hurry up. Basic sort of time management, that as the goalkeeper, to try and be slow in the kickouts. But there's the mathematics of the 2-pointers. Galway, they've hit them, they've missed them, maybe 6 they've taken so far, but they've scored 3, so it's essentially equivalent of 100% shooting rate if they're scoring 1-pointers. So it's difficult to see them taking the long range pot shots, but if they score enough of them, or score at least 50%, well, they'll not do any better even taking it in.
Jim O'Connor did well there. Gathered the ball in for Matthew Rowan. Through a pass from Rowan. Picked up solo and goal by Jordan Flynn. Makes an angle for himself. Ball is wide. Kevin McStay we head towards the 20th minute, must be reasonably happy with that performance that has given him 1 goal and 2 points on the scoreboard. Jack Carney got his 2 hands to it. Breaking ball favours Sean Kelly. Ends up with Dylan McHugh. Paul Conroy. John Marr. Dylan McHugh again. Kane Darcy. Matty Tierney. The shot coming from Matthew Thompson. You can see how the man who scored 3 points against New York at the Bronx a couple of weeks ago, captain to Galway under-20s this year as well. By all means and by all accounts, you're going to hear a lot more about him. His name, Matthew Thompson.
Really nice score, and again you could see the sheer amount of space actually that was present inside. There was no pressure really at all on those couple of Galway players, simply because Mayo have to focus so much on trying to stop those 2-pointers.
Again, Galway push up. Little or no option. Cullum Reap has to go long. Drops it down the middle of the field. The referee saw the infringement. Paul Conroy hit the deck. Paddy Nealon is going to have a word with Mayo player. That's Dermot O'Connor.
Yeah, Dermot was miles away from the ball. He had jumped with his back to the ball, didn't have eyes on it at all, so he didn't make overly heavy contact, or certainly didn't contact the head, but he certainly clashed into the standing Matty Ruan. Straightforward yellow card really.
Paul Conroy going to take the free himself. Testing ball for any full back line. But it just hops harmlessly wide.
I'm assuming he didn't go from a score from halfway there. I think he was more just putting it in, but yeah, just
Dermot O'Connor, no doubt he deserved the yellow card.
Yeah, I'd say he knew he was there. He would have been in danger if Ruan didn't have the arm up. He could have made contact to the head, and then the car could have been a very different colour.
Red has Kane Darcy flicking the ball inside towards Killian McDade, his colleague in the half-forward line. And between Darcy and McDade, they combine splendidly for a really good point.
Yeah, Galway really motoring now, and it's all about the amount of pressure they're able to apply on the Mayo kick-out here. The 4 men lined in the front arc, 3 in the sort of the middle sector between the 45, 65, and then 4 across the middle. But it's the likes of Cian Darcy on one wing, John Maher on the other, Paul Conroy in the middle. Like, they have such physical size.
The option for a short kick out doesn't exist for Mayo. So again, Mayo keeper has to go long. Kane Darcy going up for it, battling with Aidan O'Shea. Darcy has it, trying to get the ball out. Takes too many steps. I'm not too sure what he could do with it, to be honest.
No, it's brilliant by Mayo, exactly what you'd want. Galway had done really, really well to win the kick out, but Mayo pounced, got a man in trouble, and with the shorter steps rule now, or the old steps rule being applied now, players are under pressure. The over carrying now, it puts them back in the ball, and I'd imagine they'll want to just try and get back a wee bit of control. I think Galway have up the ante. Galway are, as we can almost see already, they're pushing out that wee bit heavier.
Dermot O'Connor laying it off to Matthew Ruan, combining with Ruan. Great pressure by Galway, and they converge, and Mayo get the free. For descent, the ball is brought forward. Great pressure, I must say.
Gosh, there wasn't much in that in terms of impeding them moving forward.
Nicely picked up by Darren McHale. 18 minutes since Mayo scored now. Jack Carney. Into Hessian.
Yeah, doing exactly the right thing. Composure and control. They've been under pressure. They've been under the cosh for a while. David Neary didn't need to go into that contact there. A bit of inexperience probably.
David Neary getting caught in possession. Lovely turn by Matthew Thompson. It's my first time seeing him in action, and I have to say, very well balanced. Has a couple of tricks, lovely sidestep. Nice score already. Calm under pressure. Big day for him. Ball comes over for John Marr. Mayo just a little bit exposed at the moment. And Galway take full advantage. Really good score.
Yeah, really nicely worked. Sean Kelly coming in. Drifts it over the bar, but again it just came back. David Neary, who's had such a bright opening actually in the game. He just went into contact there when there was really no need, and when Mayo really needed just a period of time to settle themselves again.
Punch down. Advantage Galway. Matthew Thompson again. Has now one, but two options down the right wing. Johnny McGrath from Dylan McHale. Difficult angle, but has he judged it? My goodness, he has. That is a great score. Rob Finnerty showing his class. But what a build-up as well.
Yeah, brilliant score by Rob Finnerty. And again, lovely work out in the sideline by Matthew Thompson. He was under pressure, 2 men against 1. He was really composed on the ball, found his pass, and Finnerty popped it over. But again, a real change in Galway over the past 4 or 5 minutes. They're chipping over ones. There's loads of space in behind.
Breaking ball again favours Galway. Matthew Tierney. Paul Conroy. Johnny McGrath takes it, turns, and away he goes. Kane Darcy. Johnny McGrath has gone inside. Can he finish? Good save by Colin Reeve. Here comes Rob Finnerty. Colin Reeve saves, and it's a penalty.
There was the pull back on him just on Johnny McGrath's shoulder. There was a bit of a pull back. I can't remember the Galway player chasing. I think it was maybe Matty Ruan. With a wee pull back of the jersey, the arm went up, and as Paddy Nealon came in, he was checking to see where it was, the contact. Yeah, it was Matty Ruan. He just did come across that right, pull him there. There wasn't much in it. Probably was enough to impact the shot a wee bit. It's a fairly softish penalty at this level of the game. It's a light enough touch. Massive kick for Galway here.
There was a holding on the arm, but it's an easy enough penalty to be awarded.
It's generous, I think, Marty. I think we can call it.
Matty Tierney has scored 3 goals and 7 points in 2 games against New York and Roscommon. 2-4 against New York, 1-3 against Roscommon. 3 goals and 2 points in play. Matty Tierney facing Colin Reeve at the Albany end in sunny Castlebar. Oh, unstoppable. Game changer in McHale Park, Castlebar. Now the scoreline looks very different. A powerful shot. Absolutely brilliantly kicked home by Matty Tierney.
No messing at all there, and unfortunately it's still all of this. That last 1-2 has still all come back from the one time Mayo did get out of the half. They coughed it up far too easily.
Kane Darcy. There's no doubt about it that Galway have found their mojo. They've found their rhythm. Here comes Rob Finnerty just outside the post and wide.
Mayo need to be composed and settled. 8 points is no issue in terms of that win. Yes, it's a challenge, but we know how much the win can impact games here. So 8 points isn't an issue, but they can't afford it to go to 12, 13, 14, which it very easily could. So a really key part of the game now in the next 5, 6, 7 minutes for Mayo. They need to hold their heads, get on the ball, get themselves back into the game.
4th wide of the match for Galway. Fouling in the middle of the field. Solo and go. Aidan O'Shea just took a little bit too much out of it. Won back by Sean Fitzgerald. Listen to the Galway roar in McHale Park. Lovely ball. Beautiful ball in for us, Matthew Thompson. Bearing down on goal, pulls the brakes, shimmies to the left. And Colm Reap produces a fine save.
Produces an absolutely essential save. Again, we said about David Neary maybe showing a wee bit of inexperience the last time he turned over. That was the last time Mayo came up the field. The next time they've come up the field, there's their most experienced man, Aidan O'Shea, coughing up possession really easily and allowing Galway now to come back in. And what we've seen this last while, whenever Galway get down this end, they can really camp in and do damage.
45 was quickly taken. Matthew Tierney trying to make an angle, gives it to Paul Conroy. Tierney stays available. Conroy goes for the return. Sean Mulcairns gets it out just a little bit, picked up by Darren McHale. Goal scorer for Mayo, Enda Hession. Seems a long time ago at the moment. Sam Callanan, Jordan Flynn, Darren McHale. Pass was just a little bit too strong. Free for the challenge and Sean Mulcairn.
Yeah, good play by Paddy Nealon there. Let the advantage go, and then when it wasn't on, and that advantage rule, I suppose, if it goes on too long, it can be frustrating. But I think that was a good play. Mayo need to settle themselves. All they need is a foothold. It's not about taking back much damage of the 8 points. It's just about getting a foothold in the game and settling themselves down, getting to half time. If they can nip a score, brilliant.
5 minutes for both Galway and Mayo in this first half. Jack Carney, Diarmuid O'Connor has Sam Callanan right beside him, decides to use the Ballina man. David Neary back in wing forward, played full forward, named it full forward in the game against Leitrim. Diarmuid O'Connor lays it off quickly. Ryan O'Donoghue playing a long way from the goalpost, but I'm sure that will change in the second half when Mayo hope to take advantage of that strong wind. Be taking up residence far near the Galway goalpost, no doubt. Aidan O'Shea inside the D, laying it off. Jordan Flynn heading towards the 13. Here comes a volley, blocked down. David Neary threw a leg at it, didn't come off. And Sean Fitzgerald from Barda, fine full back, gets involved, ends up with Sean Kelly, captain of Galway from Mike Cullen. The counter-attack is on. Johnny McGrath looking around to see who's available. Has to go back for his Dylan McHugh. Killian McDade. Staying with him is Ryan O'Donoghue. Gone from corner forward to wing back. There's a little push in the back there. And the referee has said no free. I would have thought that was a free.
There was a bit of contact, but Killian McDade definitely made the most of it too. On that last attack there, as Jordan Flynn cut through, there was an arm just behind him, pulled him, twisted him back, which was not dissimilar to the penalty call, actually, just that sort of swinging arm of the defender to twist slightly the body of the attacker. And there we've seen the contact. But I think that was fair enough.
Stats for you. Galway have won 4 out of 5 of their own kickouts. Mayo won 5 out of 11 of their own kickouts, which gives an indication as well of Galway winning that crucial area of the game. Clock has stopped for Kevin McStay. I think he'll be happy if it remains even at 110 to 1-2 at the break. For Pádraig Joyce, he will know that his team finally found their mojo. They were slow to settle, but they responded magnificently to Darren McHale's goal.
Absolutely, it was nearly that kick-started them 12-13 minutes in, and from there they've applied much greater pressure on Mayo right across the pitch. They've put a huge amount of pressure on Colm Reap's kick-out. Game's now at an interesting balance. We've seen the last Mayo attack, Galway weren't pressing them overly hard that time. They sort of might feel 8 points, decent lead. They don't need to chase it too much. They certainly don't want Mayo to close it down any further.
Aidan O'Shea was fouled going for the possession. for descent. It's punished, but a substantial distance gain for Mayo. And Ryan O'Donoghue will see where the ball is to be placed with the shaving foam from Paddy Nealon sprayed on the grass of McHale Park. Clear pushing it back on Aidan O'Shea as he was going for it. Colm Reape, who interestingly, he has stayed very much on his own goal line, and I think that's the right move in the first half, considering they're playing against the breeze, because I've seen him play against Tyrone here. Your county, Niall Morgan, is, to me, is the master of the goalkeeper coming out. But Colm Reape is quite good at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, but there just wouldn't be an errant against that wind to be coming out like that. He'll keep this one pretty low, or as low as he can, to try and get it to travel the distance.
Colm Reape scored 1 point against Leitrim. He remains scoreless here. Disappointment for Mayo, but they have only about 2 minutes or thereabouts to wait on till that hooter is sounded, half-time whistle. I think they'd be happy enough to just be trailing by 8 points. Good ball straight down the middle. Jimmy O'Connor. He's fouled by Matthew Thompson. Free for Mayo. Picked up an injury. I'm sure he's going to be okay. Holding his knee, I think.
The clock stopped again. But again, priceless for Mayo to try and win that kick out. They've done relatively well on the Galway kick out. I think they've won a few of them anyway. And again, Gleeson's kick out will be under the pressure in the second half. His favoured sort of right hand kick out to his right hand side is going to be difficult into that wind.
Colm Reape is looking for a runner. Well, the referee, Paddy Nealon, has helped his decision because there was some holding off the ball, so the free is now just inside the Galway 65-metre line, taken by Aidan O'Shea. Sam Callanan, O'Shea. Callanan back to O'Shea. Good work by Mayo. They create the opportunity and they get a score. A vital one it could well be before the break. Beautifully worked by the green and red of Mayo.
Brilliant. Lovely score by Darren McHale. Goes well with his goal again, cut in really, really sharp. Took his score well. Perfect really from Mayo. They'll still feel very much that they're in this game.
Conor Gleeson this time decided to go with a short kick out. Ball is pumped into the space. They play it down the wing. It's a good ball for Sean Kelly. Jimmy O'Connor goes toe to toe, shoulder to shoulder with him. Kelly gets there ahead. Jimmy O'Connor staying with him, still Sean Kelly. Referee has blown his whistle. He had to work hard for it. But certainly I felt Jimmy O'Connor had been fouling a little bit further out. There was a little bit of holding. He was doing his best not to foul him.
No, Jimmy O'Connor had the arm in on over the shoulder, and as soon as Paddy Nealon seen that, the arm was up, and then he was really letting Sean Kelly see where he could get to, see if any benefit accrued. When it didn't, then it came out for the free in there. We hear the hooter, so this will be the last play of the half.
Rob Finnerty takes the free, gets the point. The second of this Connacht football final here in McHale Park, Castlebar. Goal by Darren McHale set the home crowd alight and gave Mayo huge confidence. They decided to play against the breeze, but they really have played well against that wind, and it took a while for Galway to find their mojo. But the penalty by Matthew Tierney certainly has given renewed hope. But for a moment in time, for about 10 minutes, Galway took control of the game, and they deservedly lead, having played with the wind in the first half, with a lead that looks like this. It is Mayo, 1 goal and 3 points. Galway, 1 goal and 11 points, 8 points between the teams.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
Ex-Special Forces soldier Ray Goggins.
We're going to be one of the toughest challenges you'll ever face in your life.
Takes well-known faces.
I can't do it. There's no way down from here.
Through some of the toughest terrains across 3 continents.
Lads, this doesn't feel real.
In a test of nerve, endurance and survival.
What's you on a 4 or 5? Minus 29.
Uncharted.
Do not look down.
Starts Wednesday, May 14th on RTE1 and RTE Player.
You're looking good, you're looking sharp.
True quality goes beyond the design you see, and the smoothness you feel. It's the fresh blade feeling that lasts time after time after time. Gillette Labs, our best ever razor, with up to 30 smooth shaves per cartridge that lasts up to 50% longer than the most sold 5-bladed razor. Gillette, the best a man can get.
At 123.ie, we have one of the best car insurance policies with more benefits included as standard.
Don't you forget about me.
So, you can forget about us and remember the more important things. 123.ie. Give better a try.
Aoife's found a great way to save, with prize bonds from Ireland's State Savings. While she's saving, she could win €500,000 every month and 50,000 in weekly draws. You know, it feels even better, gifting that good feeling to someone else. Ireland State Savings. It's a good feeling.
Beidir nach daíonn se leat. Ach tá sé fós le hiíoch. Sin é an dí. Fáide cadúnas anis ar tvlicense.ie nó an éana go fuist.
Did you know the moment you stop brushing, many toothpastes stop fighting bacteria? And that's when problems start. But Oral-B is different. Its stannous fluoride keeps protecting in between brushing. When many toothpastes stop fighting bacteria, Oral-B with stannous fluoride keeps shielding teeth. So you start with a healthy clean and end with a healthy clean. Oral-B with stannous fluoride, the clean that never stops.
The Harvey Norman Big Sale is now on, with big deals on technology. Save €170 on the Samsung Galaxy Book 3 360 touchscreen laptop with powerful Intel Core i5 processor for seamless multitasking. Now $879. Save €50 on the Acer Iconia tab, delivering long battery life and smooth performance for your everyday needs, working or enjoying entertainment on the go. Now only €99. And with our best price guarantee, why shop anywhere else? The Harvey Norman Big Sale, now on.
Go!
Think you don't like this tasty looking Pepsi Max? You're probs wrong. If 73% of Ireland prefer the taste of Pepsi Max, you probs prefer Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max, thirsty for more.
Mayo playing into a strong breeze with a blistering start, and it was only the Footballer of the Year and his liking for 2-pointers that were keeping Galway in it. And then suddenly, last year's beaten All-Ireland finalists and the current Connacht champions came roaring back into the game. Maybe a little controversy about what led to that penalty. There might be a disagreement in the studio about that as well. Here's what's key. At half-time, Galway leading by 8 points, 111 to 1-3, but with Mayo having that strong breeze coming up in the second half. Now, of the stats, it's not only the fact that Mayo only won 5 out of 13 of their own kickouts, but Galway scored 1-4 off those as well. 8 points, is that enough?
Mayo probably haven't been shooting the lights out for 2-pointers, so, might be enough. It's a big wind out there, I think with Mayo, what a start to the half. You know, they did everything that you'd expect and want to see from them. Energy, intensity, breaking ball, disrupting the Galway flow in the start. They just found it hard to keep that going, but it's going to be that energy that they're going to need to bring into the second half for the duration of it to be able to get back into this game. So Galway, really impressive in the second half of that first half.
Was it a case that Galway lacked composure initially and Mayo pounced on that, and that's what led to the goal, really?
Yeah, I think so. Galway were pretty slow coming off, and there were certain instances where they weren't taking 2-pointers. Here, when Mayo did get a 1-1 situation, Davinieri started really lively, slips a beautiful pass into McHale, and he slots home nicely. But they're very ample situation. We've had this, like, again, lovely kick pass in, and it's what's important is Davinieri gets 1-1 and Dylan McHugh gets caught ball watching, and that allows Darren McHale to get the run in behind him, and he finished it really well. And we've always said Mayo trying to get goals has been something they've suffered on. That's the perfect start. You're against the wind, you've started the game really well, you're controlling the tempo and dictating the terms and conditions, and then all of a sudden it just flips on its head. And I think what we said predominantly is the balance of Galway. Cian Darcy has started to rule his guys. He has been so dominant. Matthew Thompson has been brilliant up front. I thought he's been electric. He's getting on the end of the ball. Johnny McGrath has been outstanding as well. I have to say, I just been watching him off the ball. It's his cutting runs through, and that man, Paul Conroy, football of the year, was just instrumental in getting Galway back into the game.
Well, he was the only reason they were actually in the game at all, and after Mayo were so on top, we blinked and suddenly Galway were ahead, and then they really did turn the screw. They
did, but how is he getting this much space in that area? Like, you know, he had 4 2-point shots in the first half. This one, dummy, he just missed the shot off his left foot from the other side, and I was saying, was that a bit of a pot shot? But then he just does it again after a dummy solo. But then their play, they started to get a better control about their play, not forcing just 2-pointers, and this interplay here, and fantastic point from Thompson, who, as Lee said, has been excellent throughout this half. They started to turn the screw from where we thought they were going to on the kickouts. Look at this from Darcy, he's backtracking and he wins that cleanly. His man's hands are amazing, and then he has the wherewithal to push on. And Killy McDade has been lively as well, clipped a lovely point, and that's the thing Galway needed to do. It was keep the scoreboard ticking over, and they did force a couple of 2-pointers, which I was worried that they were going to just, you know, try out shoot themselves and then, you know, not be executing enough. They execute 60% of their chances in that half, but again, it was just they needed to be a little bit more composed.
Can I jump in, Paul? I think the big thing I've seen in the second half is the physicality of Galway. Is they're big men, they're in contact, breaking the first tackle, creating the opportunities, and they're bouncing off the Mayo lads. Like, see the opportunities Galway are getting in the last 10 minutes of half. They're much easier compared to the first 10 minutes because they're dictating the terms and conditions now. All of a sudden, their big men are in their face, they've been aggressive, and as a result, like, Galway pulled away late in that first half. You two loved a good scrap when you're out in the pitch, so you're going to have a good scrap about this penalty and whether or not it should have been a penalty for Galway.
Well, this is our first time going to see it back, so I'm really interested to see. For me, it's soft, right, in the sense that the contact is soft, but I call that a technical foul. If you watch here, he's just about to pull the trigger and his arm is pulled back. He's dropping that ball to his foot and his arm is pulled back, drops the ball.
That's an aggressive foul if it's pulled back with the arm.
I think it's a soft contact, but it's disruptive. He would have put that ball in the back of the net if he didn't do that to his arm, and I'm not sure you're permitted.
I'm not sure. I think it's very soft in the context. I don't think it's taken away Galway's performance, but I do think in the context of the physicality of the game, I think that's a very soft penalty.
What do you mean by in the context of?
Well, I think there's certain stages like he's give frees for maybe stuff that weren't frees. I just don't think that's the penalty for me. I think he has a hand on his shoulder. It doesn't stop him from taking the shot. He just doesn't score. For me, it's very soft.
Well, Matthew Tierney certainly scored the resulting penalty. Is 8 points going to be enough? We've seen so many big comebacks throughout 2025 under the new rules, and especially when 2-pointers come into play.
SuperValue believe in community, and community includes everyone.
Electricity man.
Some people think Liam is a gas man,
but I'm not. Electricity? Yes, we're called Flow Gas, but we do electricity too. The gas part about it is that the gas part of Flow Gas is only part of it.
Not the gas man.
He says the gas part is only part of it.
Well, that's gas.
No, it's electricity. Huh? Take it.
Go on. When you think electricity, think Flowgas. Switch now at flowgas.ie.
Yeah, broken down in the middle of nowhere.
No, we'll miss the whole party.
Yeah, look, there's nothing we can actually do about it, so...
Genius here, forgot to put petrol in the car.
Classic Dad.
You're welcome.
Tow truck guy said 4 hours.
If we're lucky.
I know they're going to hate us. Oh, no. There's nothing we can do. Oh, look, a tractor.
Good food, good mood. From Aldi.
You can't plan for your period's oh my gosh moments. But with the new Always Ultra, you won't need to. Thanks to its new generation top sheet that combines a gentle feel with absorbent power. This pad absorbs gushes better than ever, so you can feel clean and dry. The gush happens fast, that's why Always absorbs faster. Say goodbye gush fears. Always Ultra, for up to 100% leak protection. It's a new period.
You know your body better than anyone. Through the lows and the highs. What your body is capable of. And what helps you through the day. But when you're looking for answers, Irish Life Health now gives you access to GPs who are specialists in female health to guide you. A better life with Irish Life Health.
Hi, Dad.
My daughter bought me this once. I fell off the ladder. She sat on the bed and we shared it.
I was only 8. Wanted to be her nurse.
She bought me one every birthday after that. Makes her mum laugh.
Why?
Because I always hated nuts. But don't tell her. Makes her so happy.
It does.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
Before we get to the second half in Castlebar, just a reminder that the Sunday game returns at 9:30 on RT2 and on the same channel. Just a goal separating PSG and Arsenal ahead of their Champions League semi-final second leg. Live coverage on Wednesday from 7:30. So we wait for the two teams to come back out onto the pitch here in McHale Park. What are you expecting to see from Mayo? Because they have this big breeze, but of course Mayo, we know, like to run the ball. So do they stick with their usual game plan and hope it comes together, or do they do something we're not used to seeing them do?
They can't stick to their usual game plan because Galway are just too good. They will bully them, they'll dictate the terms, conditions, and Mayo will be licking their wounds if that's the case. For me, Ryan O'Donoghue is too deep. Johnny McGrath has put him on the back foot. He needs getting deeper. They need to get ball inside. Ado, who's trying to come in and out, has been turned over 3 times. Uncharacteristically, get him inside as well. They need to play heads-up football. They need to just throw the shackles off a bit now. The game is not over, but 8 points for me. I know there's a real stiff win, but Galway are just too well balanced, too aggressive. And even look at their bench. They've Cian Hearn come on, they've Peter Cook, Thomas Cullan. They've really good players to introduce there. And you put that on top of some of the guys that are playing well in the first half. I can only see a goal of victory at the moment unless Mayo do the simple things and bring. I know you're talking about energy, Paul, but Mayo's energy isn't controlling games. It's nearly been uncontrollable, if that makes sense. And throw the shacks off, go at them, take on a couple of 2-pointers, throw a few balls into Aidan, and then see what happens off it. Because I feel at the moment they're not going through the gears fast enough.
In the first quarter, they had the energy without the ball, and they did show composure with it. They had a couple of plays there where they were just going back and forth, and that's what they need to do in the first half. They don't need to force 2-pointers. They don't need to just really chase the game too early. Get a really solid third quarter, get themselves within 3 points. And you speak about the Galway bench, but there's a good impact there on that Mayo bench.
Do you think it's
Durkin,
better?
I think it's competitive for sure. Durkin is there, you've got Irwin, you've got Towie, you've got Boland. These are all guys who can come in, who can get you scores and can make an impact. So, I don't think this game is dead, but that third quarter from Mayo, it was about getting within striking distance, and then we'd be in for some hell of a quarter.
We talked about Mayo not taking 2-pointers on. Today is the prime example to take them on. Paul Conroy didn't turn them down. So my point is, Mayo haven't been good at it. Today is an opportunity now to put that right.
Well, have you heard, have they been... This is Paul Towie, by the way, giving a good warm-up, so we're assuming he's going to come out.
Brilliant striker.
Towie can kick it. Like a 2-pointer today is just a kick around the arc, right? Like it's not that far of a kick with that wind behind you. So it's not a case of just creating some sort of play. It's about playing your natural play and keep kicking a little bit further out because of the fact that wind is with you. So I just think that the importance of the energy without the ball matched with the patience when they do get it, because they do not need to.
The worry I have is, from a goaler point of view, is Sean Kelly's a brilliant runner with the ball. Keane Darcy's a good runner. John Maher's a good runner. Killian McDade's a good runner with the ball. Watch these guys now all of a sudden have 1, 2 and then off the shoulder. This is the worry. When Mayo are chasing the game, they have to leave gaps. Those guys will exploit that.
It's funny hearing you say about the basics. They need to get their basics right, because you go back to their underperformance really in the league final against Kerry, and the very thing that Kevin McStay said then was, we are way better than that. We pride ourselves in brilliant basics. We're able to do it in training, but the pressure of bringing it onto a bigger stage hurts every team. We have to get better at it.
Today's the day. You know, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it in the first 2 rounds, so This they have to do it.
Let's give them a chance to, right? Because I have to say, there's a big win there. They're playing against a really good Galway team. They were competitive for 50. I feel like I have to defend Mayo here for you, Lee, right? But I just feel this third quarter, if Mayo put in a serious shift in this third quarter, they are in this game. It's not dead yet. We just need to see that bit of control with the ball. Towie getting on at the end of a couple of moves, and that man there, Ryan O'Donoghue, needs to be integral to all their play.
Do things start getting into your head when you're Ryan O'Donoghue and you're talked about the time, you keep putting up these big scores? Everybody is talking about how Johnny McGrath has your number, and then first half happens like that. Where was McGrath involved in more scores than O'Donoghue was?
He was, and fair, he attacked him hard, Joanne. He really went hard at him. But I think that's a result of Ryan playing too deep, and probably been told to play too deep. Put Ryan as your last man with Ryan or Aidan O'Shea, and then all of a sudden it's a different perspective for Johnny McGrath. If ball goes in, then I'm not trying to be hard Mayo here. It's expectation. What we're seeing, where Galway are at the moment, and what we've seen from Mayo up till now hasn't been good enough. So well, this is the reality we're at the moment.
They might get a little boost when they hear that John Maher is not going to reappear for the second half for Galway. It's Cathal Sweeney is going to come on. So did we see him go down with an injury at any stage? I don't recall it.
No. Didn't notice it. But he's a huge loss, obviously, in that middle section.
Okay, what else? So it's funny enough that Galway, as you can see, are making Mayo wait out there. You're talking about, Paul, you're saying in particular there's this big breeze, so why don't they just kick the ball and go for the 2-pointers when it hasn't been your MO? How can you just suddenly switch it on?
I'm not saying to do that. I'm actually saying that they just should get the scoreboard ticking, and a 2-pointer in this wind isn't just creating this long-range shot. It's actually just bringing the ball out a little bit further, because that wind is... Any kick outside the arc is well kickable today. So creating those pockets of space in front of the D, out a little bit further and coming on the loop, that's what they would do naturally.
Paul, as well, we need to get a foothold over Keane Darcy.
100%.
Because he's dictating the skies in the first half later on. So that's going to be a huge tactic in this half. Can we get a foothold in the middle and give the guys the platform inside?
And pin them in when they're playing against that wind, because that's a tough breeze to kick into.
So we see there is Cathal Sweeney coming on to take the place of John Maher, and as you can see there, Paul Towie is on the pitch for Mayo. It's back now for the second half with Enda and Marty.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Yes, Cathal Sweeney, as you said, Joanne, is coming on for John Maher, but the other news, of course, is that Paul Towie is going to go in to this Mayo side instead of Jim O'Connor. So Mayo's Jack Coyne was booked on his way back onto the pitch, which is an interesting development. Anyway, where we go, 8 points between the teams. Mayo playing with a strong win in the second half. Can they avail of it? Can Galway play a running game and maintain control? Aidan O'Shea, as always, starts the game in the middle of the field for the throw-in. Gives it first Matthew Ryan. Coming down the wing, Sam Callan. Of course, Mayo without David McBride midway through that first half with that injury he picked up, and Aidan O'Shea gathering it just around the Galway 45-metre line. The shot from out the field is looking good. The people of Mayo loved it even before it landed at its destination. And it's a 2-pointer from the boot of Ryan O'Donoghue.
There's strong appeals by the Galway players. They felt they got a half block or at least fingertips to that ball. And so if that was given, then it would have been a 1-pointer, but I think the 2-pointer's been awarded. Kick out by Conor Gleeson.
Breaking ball. Just a little touchback was enough to give Galway possession. From Carl Sweeney. One 5 to 1-11. As Galway go back into the attack. Gathering the ball is Rob Finnerty. Good work by Jack Coyne. Laying it back for as Liam Silk. There's little or no option as he heads towards the stand. Willing to take on Darren McHale. Oh, that's a great ball inside to Matty Tierney. Tierney with that deadly left boot sends that between the posts and over the bar. Penalty in the first half, point in the second half. Tierney is doing well.
Yeah, he done a brilliant just backdoor cut, and the pass to him was absolutely perfect, just right into his path. Lovely score by Galway. Paul Conroy's getting spoken to here.
Now, kick out for Colin Reid. Decides to go strong for his short, I should say, for his captain Stephen Cohen. Darren McHale scored that goal from Mayo in the first half. Back for his Stephen Cohen. Sam Callanan. Aidan O'Shea. The overlap provided by David Neary. Referee has blown his whistle for pulling of the jersey, and that's going to be a free in for Mayo.
Yeah, again, really good play by David Neary. He's been so lively right from the start. Here, going at pace, takes the contact, the ref's arm, Paddy McMean's arm went up at that stage. And they've got their free in again, just chipping away. That's all they need to do.
Ryan O'Donoghue. 2 points in the first half. Finds the target.
Gleeson went short in the first kick out, and again Mayo will be really conscious of trying to shut that down. They had a really good chance actually. They had a 2-on-1 opportunity to turn over the Galway defender. They'd won the last short kick out, and they were too zealous to give away a free, which was an easy out. So again, Mayo need to figure out how to put pressure. Gleeson's favourite kick out is long to that stand side.
It's quite clear by his body language that's the side of the field he's aiming for. Mayo gather the possession, breaking away from the shackles of the Galway defence. As expected, Ryan O'Donoghue takes up residence around the edge of the square. Opportunity coming from Matthew Ruan, and he finds the target. It's a great start from Matthew Ruan. A great start from Mayo this second half. It's a 2-pointer.
Yeah, haven't hit the 40th minute mark, and it's down to 4 points. So really perfect start. They got that last Galway kick out. Again, Gleeson will be under pressure this whole half.
Listen to the roar of the crowd. They sense it. That's inside the 20-metre line. The referee has blown his whistle. Yes, I think he has. Galway haven't recognised it. So it's a free.
It was the linesman on this side, Niall Cullen. It's exceptionally difficult for the referee out at midfield to spot those lines, and he was reliant on his sideline official, Niall Cullen. The crowd on this side were certainly letting him know.
Ryan O'Donoghue and Aidan O'Shea ultimately deciding that Aidan O'Shea was going to take it. He'll certainly be aiming for the far over post, try and curl it in. Let it up high. There it goes. Went for the near post. Ball is wide. Difficult enough angle, to be fair.
Exceptionally difficult right out on that side. Wind or no wind. That's going to be a very difficult kick. But again, Mayo will be happy enough. The more pressure they put on Conor Gleeson, it's a difficult spot in there. In terms of short kickouts, he does like that pocket to the left-hand side that he hit the last time. He doesn't really have that right pocket in his arsenal, so Mayo don't have to cover that off. And he loves that right long under the stand. So Mayo will have done their homework.
As you see there, Kieran Malloy from Corofin is coming on. Sean Fitzgerald, the player that's gone off. Conor Gleeson again shapes up, clearly indicating he's aiming for the stand side. The referee immediately blows his whistle. Crossing the line. That's what the referee said. Free for Mayo. Jack Carney to Jordan Flynn. Back to Carney. Into Hession. Here's the call from Sam Callanan. Heading past the 40-metre line. Still good work by Callanan. A backflip, which I haven't seen before. In first Jack Carney. Pass from Aidan O'Shea. Referee blows his whistle. And Mayo have started this second half brightly. The clenched fists, the leap into the air, indicates clearly that Mayo are fully intent.
Not sure about that one. I'm not sure what else, much else Jack Carney went. Oh, no. Sean Fitzgerald just came back in. I thought Jack Carney had really turned into a cul-de-sac and he was going to get blown up, but Sean Fitzgerald came right through the back of him. Definite free. Mayo on the rise.
It was 8 points at the break. Now it's down to 3. We only have 7, almost 8 minutes gone into the second half. Conor Gleeson under a little bit of pressure with his kickouts. This time it stays outside the 20-metre line. Comes to Johnny McGrath. Ryan O'Donoghue now doing the marking on him, running the other way around. O'Donoghue puts the hard work in. Sean Mulcairns is dispossessed. O'Donoghue to Aidan O'Shea. O'Donoghue's gone for the return pass. Difficult angle inside the 13-metre line, heading towards the end line, fisting it across and fisting it over the bar. Brilliant play by the Belmullet Bullet. He really is. Once he gets going anywhere near goal, you can expect white flags, orange flags, green flags. This one is a white flag.
Brilliant by Mayo. The short kick out got away, but the Sean Mulcairn initially had got past Ryan O'Donoghue, but he got back, got the tackle. Turnover 1, and they were nice and clean and crisp in their movement forward from that there.
2 points between the teams. Connacht final is turning out to be most exciting, most enjoyable. Free this time to Galway. Killian McDade going to take it. At least he has the ball in hand. Mayo player is down injured, so the referee has indicated that the clock needs to be stopped.
And Sean Kelly is the man in question. There's somewhere in that there. Didn't see a huge amount there, but he's down anyway. It'll take the sting out of the game a wee bit, which might be part of it. But again, Mayo just have to settle now. Galway will be under pressure now to try and get a bit of a foothold, try and get the score.
David Coldrick having a word with Paddy Nealon, and Stephen Cohen has been called by the referee. A yellow card and a yellow card. Stephen Cohen is the Mayo player, and a yellow card as well. I think it was for Paul Conroy. Galway with the possession, trying to come in. Mayo defending. Paul Conroy got his touch. Rob Finnerty, crossfield ball over towards Sean Kelly. Coming down the wing is Liam Silk. His pathway towards goal is blocked. Has to reverse, go back out again, change direction, keep the momentum and the speed out of the game now. They're controlling it well, Galway, which is the right call. Kieran Malloy getting a touch. Just to confirm that Paul Conroy was booked with that yellow card with Stephen Cohen as well. Meanwhile, it's a great run here by Sean Kelly. I've seen him do this before, scoring spectacular goals. Paul Conroy looking around for a little bit of support. It's there with Matthew Thompson. scored a great point in the first half. Kane Darcy thinking about having a run. Stan Callanan staying with them. Good work by Callanan. Darcy forced to find Kieran Malloy. Shimmies to the left. Goes to the right. Ball dropping in is not a bad idea at all. Good work by Rob Finnerty. Twisting, turning. Ball given away though at the end of it all. Easily picked up by Donnacha McHale. Darren McHale sends it down the wing towards David Neary. Neary goes with the long ball, took a slight deflection. Aidan O'Shea battling hard, outnumbered. Lovely pickup by Jack Glenn. Glenn gives it first. Kieran Malloy coming away with it is Sean Kern. Will Kearns from Inishmore trying to get the shot away. Referee says nothing, but the Mayo players are saying he fouled it. Well won back by Mayo. Opportunity here for Darren McHale. He's already scored a goal and a point. He has now scored a goal and 2 points in the Connacht final of 2025. Great play by Mayo. Sheer hard work.
Absolutely, Marty. The tackling of the Mayo forwards that time, Galway had turned them over. There had been a slight block on David Neary's pass. Galway had turned it over, but Mayo won it straight back. And here they won the kick out.
Mayo with Jack Neary. Jack Carney dropping this one in. Easy ball for Conor Gleeson. They've only been level once in this match so far at the start of the game. There is now only 1 point between them. Just 11 and a half minutes gone into the second half. 1 point between them. Connacht champions holding on against the very stiff breeze. All-Ireland finalists last year.
Mayo on a tight man-to-man right across the pitch. They're just not giving Galway room to settle at all.
Killian McDade tries to get away from Enda Hession. Shoulder to shoulder. Great work by Hession. Got in front of him, almost dispossessed him. McDade is class. Heading towards the 20-metre, 13-metre line. What a run by McDade. Is he about to pull the trigger? The referee blows the whistle. A scintillating run by Killian McDade. Reminds me in days gone by of Michael Donlan doing it for Galway. It started deep inside his own territory, headed towards goal. And right there was when the referee blew his whistle. Brilliant play by McDade.
Just that arm on the shoulder probably by Ryan O'Donoghue again. He was probably needing it. There was maybe a call of steps earlier on in the run. But a brilliant run by Killian McDade, because he really didn't have any other options. He had to put the medal down, or the foot down. Plenty of Mayo were chasing him. Great contest to see.
10 minutes since Galway last scored. Rob Finnerty has already scored twice in this Connacht final. Kicks it, follows through with the left boot, gets his 3rd point of the game. Re-establishes a 2-point advantage to the Connacht title holders.
Big change there, Sean Kelly going off. I seen him stretching his calves after he was down obviously there, and then in the next play he was stretching his calves, so obviously they have tightened up on him.
Sean Mulcairns has gone off, Cian Hernan is on. A Barnum like Sean Fitzgerald. His dad is from Fossa, just outside Killarney. Has produced the great Cliffords and many more. David and Paudy, who obviously had a great win today in the Munster football final. Sideline ball this time. Here in Castlebar is heading towards Mayo. Stephen Cohen is directing traffic from the sideline. Cathal Sweeney has gone into position. Quickly taken. Jordan Flynn spreading it over towards Enda Hession. About to be confronted by Dylan McHugh. Matthew Ruan. Back fires Jordan Flynn. Ryan O'Donoghue has moved out to his own 65 Galway 65-metre line. Double marked at the moment. It's Paul Towie. Ball comes in. Nice turn by David Neary, heading towards goal. He hits it. And it's gone over the crossbar, I think. Yes, it is. Advantage, says the referee, but David Neary, just for a moment, looked as if he was going to crash the ball into the back of the net. Blasting it over the crossbar.
his footwork and turns are so sharp. He's so sharp across the ground nearly, having a massive impact in this game.
Kevin McHale is urging from the sideline to go forward. Conor Gleeson again is aiming for the far side with most of his kickouts. Touchdown almost attempted, not gathered by Mayo but by Matthew Thompson, who continues to impress. Dylan McHugh, backfires Kieran Malloy. Corofin boys, what a great club. Johnny McGrath, Carl Lestrade. Looking for options, Dylan McHugh is one such player. Johnny McGrath again. To Kieran Malloy. When he came on against New York and the Bronx scored a fine point, thinking about the same thing, bursting forward. He looks around to see who's available and he's given it away, Jordan Flynn, and in turn Jordan Flynn gives it away to Sean Kelly. Mistakes being made. The tension is palpable. The pressure is mounting. Here come Galway with the reinforcements coming from the back. Great run by Cian Hernan. Player in possession didn't see him. Killian McDade. Paul Conroy.
Is what we were talking about just at half-time. If you take the 2-pointers out of Galway's game, what are they like at breaking down a team? We know the phenomenal strike runners. We've seen that with the likes of Killian McDade, but what's their interplay like? So I think they'll still do damage from strike runners, but 2-pointers out of the game, Mayo can afford to sit back and sit in, and Galway struggling in that phase of play there to break them down. And again, a bit of indiscipline all the way up the field, and I'd imagine they might even chance a 2-pointer here with the wind the way it is.
Rory Brickenden, by the way, did really well there just a moment ago. Ryan O'Donoghue. There's a bit of angst developing in the Galway Mayo half of the field. I think they're going to sort it out themselves. Ryan O'Donoghue, geographically situated between the Galway 45 and 65. Strong wind blowing from the town end to the Albany end. Hits it well, hits it over the crossbar.
Touched.
But there was a touch, and it's a 1-pointer.
Still really dislike that rule. If he's able to get it, the goalie shouldn't be rewarded just for doing that, in my opinion. But anyway, that's the rule at the minute.
And the
it
ball
goes from a 2-pointer to a 1-pointer. Would a hit in an Ireland final to be decided by such things about forward, has the gumption to go for it, is accurate, makes the distance. Yeah.
Now the debate will be, was the ball got fully over the crossbar? But right now, let's deal with what we have. The sides are level for the second time in the Connacht final. Great pressure by Mayo, but the ball spills. The Connacht champions showing their character magnificently. Good work by Cian Darcy. Johnny McGrath. Tackled and taken too many steps. The pressure from Aidan O'Shea. Ball is not given back. Solo and one. Ryan O'Donoghue doesn't have the time to talk with Aidan O'Shea. Have the chat afterwards. Cian Enda Hession gives the ball and goes for the return pass. Waiting for it. Matthew Ruan is in possession. Gone across is Paul Towie. Mayo have the advantage. Here comes a 2-point attempt. It's sailing high, but it's sailing very much to the right and wide. Disappointment for Mayo. Just watch this. As the ball, now where exactly did the keeper touch the ball? Had the ball crossed over the crossbar?
I'd have a very simple option for that, just do away with that completely, but it's probably behind it.
I think it's behind it, I'll be honest, Enda. So it should have been a 2-pointer rather than one, perhaps. The debate can continue afterwards. The kick out is taken. Galway had it momentarily. Mayo have the mojo at the moment. Malloy puts in the challenge. Well won by David Neary, who's proving his championship material. He runs out of space, giving the ball away. The crowd are loving this Gaelic football match. And away comes Liam Silk. Liam Silk heading towards goal, cutting into the centre. Nice ball into the middle. Opportunity here for Sweeney. He stumbles and he loses the possession, and Mayo come away with it. Just for a moment, Carl Sweeney had the opportunity, but he stumbled at the wrong time.
That's just brilliant. He had the chance and he knew he was sort of half in on goal. He went, but the feet just went from under him. Mayo swooped in, But you're right, just what a contest here at the minute. There's so many one-on-one battles going across the pitch, off camera. There's body checks, there's plenty going on. We've a long way to go too.
Thankfully. Matthew Ruan over towards Enda Heshet. Over towards Jack Carney. Heading towards the corner flag. He knew what he was doing. David Neary. Laying it back for us, Jordan Flynn. Darren McHale from the great club of Knockmore. Here comes the shot for Paul Towie. Is it on target? It's not. Gone wide again. 5th wide of the match for Mayo. Ball coming in here towards Sweeney. He just stumbled. He knew what he wanted to do, but he just ran out of space. Just unlucky. Kick out from Conor Gleeson. Down the middle. Beautiful hands. Beautifully caught in the middle of the field by Jack Carney.
Yeah, he had signalled the mark, so he had to take it, but what a fetch, as you say. It's almost like the game needs a wee breather just at the minute.
Matthew Ruan giving it to Carney, but the ball hopped away. Easily gathered. Ryan O'Donoghue pursues Johnny McGrath. These two know each other so well. Passing out Jordan Flynn. Ryan O'Donoghue arrives, and Johnny McGrath has taken too much out of it. Free to Mayo. Solo and goal. The crowd are on their feet underneath me, and there's loads of time left. Here come Mayo again. 20 metre, 13 metre line. Slipping and sliding a little bit. Shimmy to the right. Here comes the shot. Is it on target? And once again, the ball has gone to the left and wide. They just cannot put their noses in front, Mayo. The drama, the excitement, the tension of the Connacht football final.
2 wides in a row there by Paul Towie. I'd have expected him to get that one, in fairness, although again Galway managed to make sure that the shot was under plenty of pressure.
Conor Gleeson changes direction of his kick out coming over this side. Beautifully gathered by Matty Tierney. Wins himself a free. He's already scored a goal and a point in this Connacht final. Giving it back for Cian Hernan, who also scored a point, but it was in the Bronx against New York. Over towards Killian McDade. McDade goes for the return pass. Shoots on the turn, but he shoots it over the crossbar. What a score! He was stumbling as he was heading towards goal. Beautiful fielding in the glorious sunshine of McHale Park, Castlebar. McDade on the run. He hit it powerfully. He hit it accurately between the posts. 114 to 113. And we're not even in far as the 58th minute yet. Mayo with a little bit of space. Head towards the Galway 45-minute line. It's Donnacha McHugh heading towards the 20. He's gained a lot of ground. Cuts it into the centre. He looked for a scorer, surely. Sam Callanan to Aidan O'Shea. There's nobody coming down the stand wing. Has to give it back for us, Darren McHale. Mayo happy to regain their composure. Controlled again. Velocity of the wind is still strong. Jack Carney. Jumping to the right, Stephen Cohen. Carney again. Kieran Malloy from Corofin. Staying goal side of it. Good block down. Ball continues on. Almost picked up. Galway defending well. Great work by Jack Glenn from Clare Galway. And he's taken it off the ground. And that's going to be a free in for Mayo. And an easy free. Just to the left of the goalpost. To level the match for the 3rd time.
See it here, it looked tight. He got the ball in underneath it then, but I think it was here, there's the contact on the ground. But again, we see time and time again the biggest change in the rules is nearly that impact of not being able to go back to the goalie. Forwards know they can hunt and get greater joy than maybe in the past.
Ryan O'Donoghue scores his 9th point of the game, and the sides are level in McHale Park, Castlebar. Mayo 114, Galway 114, 59 and a half minutes gone in a pulsating Connacht football final.
Peter Crook was he there ready to come in. What a man to be able to introduce, but Mayo, can they get their noses in front?
Conor Gleeson again goes for the side that he'd been trying. Referee saw an infringement. He got the touch on the ground correct, by the way. We have to give credit to the referee. The last free. 60 minutes on the clock. 10 minutes to go on this May bank holiday weekend in the Connacht final. Down for Killian McDade, making an angle. He scored with his right, dropping it in on his left, and the ball is going to hop harmlessly wide. There was a lot of debate during the week about the draws, but to be honest with you, there isn't a mention of the draws in Castlebar. This is a Connacht title. The Nestor Cup is at stake, and both of these counties want it passionately.
Certainly from a Galway perspective, Killian McDade is absolutely carrying the fight. He's exceptionally prominent in every one of their attacks. They feel he could have done better. Kieran Malloy certainly took his chance there, shall we say.
Fergal Boland is on. Jack Coyne is also okay. Galway now making changes as well.
Number 26, number 20, Carl Sweeney.
Peter Cook coming on. The player that's gone off is Carl Sweeney. Colm Reap looking at the options, and there aren't too many. Goes short, and the ball is given away. Galway have it. Ball into the centre. But the referee had blown his whistle.
And there's a black card decision here. Galway players are already letting them know it has to be a black card. It certainly looks very dangerous. It's such a dodgy kick out to do that.
Paddy Nealon from Roscommon is the official. He's having a word with Rory Brickenden. Clearly a foul, clearly a black card. And Mayo are down to 14 players for the next 10 minutes.
Colm Reap didn't catch the kick out clean at all. Was going far too slow.
A vital moment in this Connacht final. But while Rory Brickenden will suffer the consequences in the sense of a black card, really, Colm Reap should have gone long, particularly when you have the strength of the breeze behind you.
Yeah, he's went short on 3 or 4, and every time Galway players have been within a few metres of it, he's got away with it. I suppose playing a wee bit with fire. This man says he got burnt there.
Rob Finnerty going for his 4th point of the match. Should be an easy tap over. And it is. Galway are back in front. But from now until possibly the end of the game, Mayo are down to 14 players.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. Again, they still have field to get their noses in front.
Kick out superbly. Gathered in the middle of the field. Good work. Looking for a little bit of support. There's plenty there with Peter Cook. Sean Kelly. Back to Cook again. Back into the middle. Towards Dylan McHugh. Happy to retain the possession.
Yeah, and Galway, as we know now, they're a man to the good in this half of the pitch. They can afford to keep possession, play really disciplined football, really safe football. They'll get their opening. They're even a point up in the game, so they're not chasing anything.
Cook is happy to retain the possession. Over towards Rob Finnerty. Ball inside. Little combination. Paul Conroy's at the end of it. Drops it in and drops it over the bar. You can't beat class. You can't beat experience. And Galway are proving that they have both qualities in abundance.
Again, that's the impact of the Galway height out round the middle, obviously added to now by Peter Cook. That's why Colm Reap isn't fancying going long too much.
Going long again. Fabulous catch. Galway have produced some fine fielders in the last couple of minutes, giving the visitors a little bit of an advantage. Full credit there to Cian Hernan. Peter Cook into the middle. Paul Conroy looking for it. Giving it far as Dylan McHale. Little bit of space. Mayo look exposed here. Nice ball inside. In towards Rob Finnerty. But Mayo have it now. They have to at least get a 2-pointer to draw the game. And they're numerically disadvantaged. Darren McHale. Ryan O'Donoghue. Matthew Roy. Back to O'Donoghue again. Heading past the 45. Back to Roy. To Jack Carney. Mayo having to slow things down just a little bit. Fergal Boland has a great engine. Goes at speed. Darren McHale. Paul Towie. McHale again. Matthew Roy. Ryan O'Donoghue. In a little bit of space. Fergal Boland. Aidan O'Shea. Dispossessed cleanly. And there's a free given to Aidan O'Shea. As on this occasion, Cian Hernan is judged to have been holding. That's a clear indication from the referee.
I thought it was a superb tackle. I think that's exceptionally harsh on Cian Hernan. I think he made contact there. It was actually Aidan O'Shea had the arm wrapped around him, holding him close, but that has fallen Mayo's way. Can they make the most of it? Potential 2-pointer, but difficult kick from the wrong side for O'Donoghue.
Ryan O'Donoghue going for his 10th point of the game. 11th if you add it. This is going to be a little bit short. Ryan O'Donoghue was frustrated by the body language afterwards. Easily gathered by Conor Gleeson to Kane Darcy. On the run, it's Liam Silk. Almost dispossessed by his opposite, number 7, Stephen Cohen. Kieran Malloy. Dropping. Still in play. Now it's got out. Substitution coming in from Mayo. And there is a chance here being given to Fenton Kelly from Moy Davits. Darren McHale is the player making way. Galway, meanwhile, will also bring in a fresh player. That's Liam O'Connell, Spidale. Scored 2 points, actually, in the Bronx against New York. Still 5 minutes or thereabouts to go. Jonathan McHugh. Mayo find themselves under severe pressure. Going down on the ball. Galway almost have it here. They now have it at last from their perspective. Rob Finnerty, little touch. Trying to make an angle is Matthew Tierney, but they give the pass back as poor. Picked up and gathered by Mayo. And good work by Fergal Boland.
The tackling and the intensity from both teams is brilliant to see. There was a worry with the new rules. One of the things we were thinking, was contact going to be taken out of the game? There's been plenty of contact. There's been so many one-on-one battles today in the game. I have to say is the better for it.
Fenton Kelly laying it off. Jordan Flynn is making an angle. Coming forward at speed is Fergal Boland. In towards Aidan O'Shea. He has the support if he needs him of Jack Carney. Aidan O'Shea making an angle for himself. Ball inside, there's an opportunity. Here comes the shot. Oh, brilliant save by Conor Gleeson. Deflecting it out for a 45. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant save in a tension-filled full house of McHale Park Castlebar with just about 3.5 minutes to go in the Connacht final. Enda Hession sending it in. Conor Gleeson diving to his left, deflecting it out for a 45.
Yeah, he went to place it, headed to the side foot. Brilliant save by Gleeson. The regret from that man's face, but if they can chip one over now, that's still, they've got the win and they put it on the tee. Ryan O'Donoghue hit his last shot short. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to put it on Gleeson's tee.
Debate along the sideline. 45 going to be taken by Colm Reap. Referee currently dealing with the players, saying any more dissent and he'll be issuing cards. We have the advantage in the commentary position of being able to hear the referee, which I think is a huge asset. 12 months ago, Galway goalkeeper Conor Gleeson scored a great point from 45 that won them the title. This is to draw the game. Colm Reap, it's curling in the breeze. Is it over? They look at each other.
There.
It's gone over the bar. 1 point. 115 for Mayo. 116 for Galway. Huge excitement around McHale Park. 67 minutes and 20 seconds. The clock is correct, by the way, with all the stoppages. Kick out from Conor Gleeson. Straight down the middle. Galway have the possession. Peter Cook looking around for support. Good pressure by Mayo. Paul Towie. Coming away with it is Dylan McHugh. Waiting for it is Liam Silk. Jack Glenn. Has to give the ball away. Mayo have it. Mayo fouls. Ryan O'Donoghue, solo and goal. Gives it to a colleague. That's Fergal Boland. Aidan O'Shea. Mayo. Look at the clock. 68 minutes and 12 seconds. They're looking for the equaliser. Aidan O'Shea. Little dummy to the left, trying to get inside Johnny McGrath. Gives the ball away. They still have it. Mayo. Great block down. Fabulous by Galway. Absolutely wonderful to see. The ball is loose and available again, and Galway come away with it. Now that is character. That is determination by the Connacht champions. Killian McDade. This time he's not allowed to solo all the way up, trying to push it away. Comes back for his Rob Finnerty, laying it off. There's an opportunity for Galway to stretch their lead. Is this going to ensure the Connacht title? It's sent between the posts and over the bar. Brilliant play by Galway. Starting with the block down at the very beginning. And a wonderful, wonderful movement up the field that ended with a point.
I think Aidan O'Shea was hard done by that last one. If he wasn't, it might have been tight on steps, but the ref didn't blow him on steps, and I think he was definitely held back.
1 minute to go.
At the other end, but the decision's going to be tight. There is going to be the opportunity for the two-pointer. Mayo in possession.
Matty Tierney being shown a yellow card. Black card by Matty Tierney. So now numerically it's 14 against 14. Now Mayo have to get a two-pointer. Huge excitement. Haven't seen it in a Connacht final for years. We had a good game in Pearse Stadium last year, but this is a different level completely. 69 minutes and 41 seconds. Mayo. Can they squeeze this between the post and over the bar? Can they create the opportunity? Ryan O'Donoghue with, as always, Johnny McGrath. They cannot let the ball go dead, even when the hooter sounds, which you will very, very shortly. Everybody on their feet in McHale Park. They're along the sideline. Mayo searching equaliser. Galway hoping to get the Connacht title, the 4 in a row. Roscommon referee is looking at his watch. We're looking at him. The hooter has actually sounded, believe it or not. Didn't hear it with the drama that's here. Fergal Boland. Who will be brave enough to have a go? Thought about it one moment, Jordan Flynn. Ryan O'Donoghue. Back to Jordan Flynn. Is this the moment? Comes to Matthew Ryan. He has to go for it. No. It's curling to the right and it's curling wide. And with it goes the Connacht title to their greatest rivals. To the All-Ireland finalists Class of 2024 to the reigning Connacht champions. 4 in a row has been achieved, which hasn't been done since the 1960s. A wonderful game of football. New rules incorporated, but the essence is there, the skill and the talent of the footballers on a wonderful day. As the maroon and white converge on McHale Park, tears of joy, excitement. Galway, Connacht champions, 2025, 4 in a row has been done.
Just brilliant by Galway. They just about done enough in that first half. You'd feel for Mayo. Look, there's a penalty decision can be argued over. There's Gleeson's stopping of the 2-pointer, which can be argued over, and that obviously made them. They were trying to get that 2-pointer at the end, which was always going to be difficult. But look, brilliant game. Both teams will have, obviously Galway will have plenty to take from it. A phenomenal achievement for that man there. But Mayo will know that they showed enough about themselves today. Their season won't be done. And whenever they all sit down, when they look at the groups, Mayo will know that they can do more. But look, this one will hurt today. There's no doubt about that.
Huge excitement in McHale Park, Castlebar, as the referee Paddy Nealon heads to the dressing room. It's the 51st provincial title today for Galway. 4 in a row, back to 1963, 64, 65 and 66. Now the history books will show 22, 23, 24 and 2025. First time in about 59 years since it was achieved. But long when record books are written and the history books are written, I think they'll talk about this Connacht final. A glowing tribute to two counties, pride of Jersey, pride of county, and eventually Galway getting over the line. Wonderful day for these two great counties and for the province of Connacht. It is final score: Galway 1 goal and 17 points, Mayo 1 goal and 15.
I'm not sure Lee Keegan is in agreement that it's a wonderful day for both counties, but Paul Flynn, that match certainly had a bit of everything, didn't it?
What a game, what a game. It was absolutely outrageous. Mayo did exactly what we wanted them to do in the third quarter. They won 100% of their own kickouts, 50% to Galway's. They had 14 possessions, kicked 8 scores and 10 points to 2 lead in that quarter. Teed themselves up. All you want is a bit of composure, a bit of patience. Blackharden falls, missed goal chance from Neary where there was 2 guys at the back post, which you looked at earlier. Hessian has a goal chance, and it was utter chaos, and they needed just that bit of composure. But to be fair to Galway, their leader stepped up. They were really able to get a stranglehold on that game, but what a half of football.
But Lee, is it not a case that Mayo thrive and the chaos? Is the chaos not what helped get them back into this?
Definitely. We questioned half-time, would they get 2-pointers? Their first score was 2-pointer. Got themselves back into the game, created goal chances, but there's chaos sometimes and there was accuracy. And when the game was there for Mayo, on 3 separate occasions they had opportunities to level the game and even go a point ahead, and they didn't take any of them. And unfortunately we're watching scenes of Galway win it because they were more clinical when it mattered the most.
In Mayo's defence again, they were 80% conversion in the second half, which is...
Paul, there's 80% conversion rate during good spells. When it came down to the crunch of the game, that's where we missed our opportunity.
And of course, when Galway were in trouble early on in this match, one man stood up, as he has done so often. Let's now find out who is man of the match with Damien.
Thank you very much, Joanne. Paul Conroy, congratulations. You are the Allianz man of the match. Siobhan Doherty is here on behalf of Allianz to take place with the presentation. Thank you, Siobhan. Congratulations. A remarkable win. And listen, for all the people might talk about provincial finals being devalued with the draws taking place beforehand, the scenes tell us all. That means so much.
It does. Like, I suppose since I was a young lad anyway, and all of our lads and the Mayo lads, I'm sure they're going to these games with their parents, and like we're massive rivals, like we're on the border. A lot of us work with each other, and it's a great hard game out there today. Like, Mayo are a fantastic team. Like, there's nothing ever between us. It's usually a point either way. Same again today, and we're just absolutely delighted, and just to see the joy here after it is brilliant.
Before I let you go to the trophy, you're such a key part of this team, but the role you played early on and just maybe getting yourself settled, you enjoy taking that responsibility on?
Yeah, look, there's a strong wind here. I'm not sure could you see it on the TV, but very strong wind going down the field, and we had it in the first half, so it was important to get a couple of them 2-pointers on the board because they're big scores. But look, we'd be very happy with the second half, how we dug it out, because it probably didn't look likely for us there for a while, because Mayo came back very strong. Enjoy tonight. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, David.
So, from Footballer of the Year to Man of the Match in the Connacht final to Sean Kelly about to get his hands on that cup, Marty.
Absolutely, and hard-earned as well. Vincent Neary, the president of the Connacht Council, just saying a few words about this amazing day that we've all thoroughly enjoyed. But for Galway, of course, the ultimate joy is lifting that cup when they see Sean Kelly, the captain of Galway from Moycullen, son of the late Dandy Kelly, who played for Galway Minors and under-21s back in the 1990s, lifting the trophy for the 4th year in a row. But what a game we've had here in McHale Park, Castlebar.
And what a spectacle, full house, beautiful day. So well done to the Castlebar, McHale Park committee.
This is it. This is the moment that Galway have been waiting for. The JJ Nestor Cup will continue to reside in the county of Galway. Galway, Connacht champions for the 4th year in a row. History on your TV screens.
First of all, I want to thank Mayo for today's game. There's always a kick of a ball between us. A great football county, and best wishes now going forward. Round of applause for Mayo. Secondly, I'd like to thank the Connacht GAA Council and all here in Castlebar for hosting this afternoon's final. And I also like to thank Danny Neely and all his officials for a good rest game. Thank you. A big thank you to our sponsors, Supermax, Anton and McDonald, Wildly Divorce, reaching the Galway members, and all those who continue to support Galway football. I want to thank all for supporting us after training and after games, and thanks to our chairperson Paul Mayo and all at the county ball. A massive thank you to all our clubs, and especially our families, friends, girlfriends, partners, all their support throughout the year. I'd also like to thank our ground management and backroom team and all those who helped out behind the scenes. And of course, a big thank you to our great leader, that's here for Board Choice. A huge thank you to our wonderful supporters who made the journey to Castlebar today. We really appreciate it. And hopefully roaring behind us for the rest of the year now. And finally, thank you to this wonderful bunch of players here in front of me. Incredible group of people who will enjoy the Connacht title tonight and all about All Ireland Series night from tomorrow. Thank you.
Congratulations to Sean Kelly, to Galway. We have one of their mainstays who has been so impressive for them all season long, coming up live in studio with us. First of all, though, here is your competition.
RT Sport has teamed up with the 5-star Powerscourt Hotel Resort and Spa, part of the MHL Hotel Collection, to give you the chance to win a luxury weekend away. Nestled within the natural beauty of the Wicklow Mountains, it's the perfect place for a relaxing getaway this summer. See powerscourthotel.com for more. You and a friend will stay for 3 nights in one of their elegant suites, enjoying a hearty breakfast each morning with panoramic mountain views. You'll have dinner in the stunning Sika restaurant on one evening and unwind with afternoon tea in the picturesque Sugarloaf Lounge too. Plus, we are throwing in €500 to spend as you wish. For your chance to win, answer this question. In which provincial football championship does New York participate? Is it Leinster, Connacht or Ulster? To enter, call the number on screen or text the word GAME, followed by your answer and name to 57886. Maximum cost per entry is €2.50. You must be over 18 to enter. Lines will close at midday on Monday, 12th of May. Full details are on rte.ie/competitions, where the lucky winner will also be revealed.
Ón Chalafort mór hín blunilán. Sail na híscarí agus an dúlá na gawan le cheandas na postanas déna dá bhfuil ann.
Ní bhórt an cópar neis, just imethe.
Páric na farige. Déir dín agus seacht RTE1 agus RTE Player.
Need broadband?
You're grand.
This works off 5G. It doesn't need cables.
You just plug it in and you're good to go.
Some speed.
What if we threw in a landline? It's wireless.
There is another way to broadband. 3 5G home broadband from €20 a month for up to 12 months.
Irish Life Health now gives you access to GPs who are specialists in female health. Search Irish Life Female Health.
We're serving up summer at Dunnes Stores. Fire up the grill with 3 for €10 on a range of barbecue favourites. Enjoy succulent Irish pork chops, flaky salmon, tasty pork belly, king prawns and jumbo pork sausages. Served in buns, pittas and wraps. Mix and match 2 for €2.30. All with delicious dipping sauces from €1.75. Plus, you can save at the till with a €10.50 grocery voucher. Dunnes Stores, always better value.
Curious fact. It takes more time to read this sentence than for a hummingbird to drink a flower's nectar. Be more hummingbird with the quick battery recharge of the new Elrock. Be more Elrock.
Skoda.
When you paint by feeling, you can come home to a blooming good day. You can make any space feel like outer space. And your living room? Well, that can become an absolute blast. Change starts here. Dulux.
And we're going to have to let you go.
And I told you this was going to happen.
And I could have just brought you home. And you won't be entering our country.
And I'm disqualifying you from driving for 4 years.
And I don't know what to say.
And Mum said you won't be picking me up from school anymore.
And you only ever think about yourself.
And it stays in your system longer than you think.
And how could you?
You don't have to love it. But you do have to pay it. It's the law. Get yours now at tvlicence.ie or any post office.
When your smoking cravings creep up on you, Nicorette lozenges are clinically proven to start fighting cravings in just 2 minutes with a rapid burst of fresh flavour. You're up to 2 times more likely to quit with Nicorette.
Sleep on and let your bills keep us awake at night. For a great deal, bonkers.ie. We're on the money.
SuperValue believe in community. And community includes everyone.
A 4th Connacht title in a row for the men from Galway, and in the visiting fans enjoy that win in Castlebar. So many big performers, including their captain and including the man in here. And one of my favourite things actually about Killing McDade, not only your performance, but you came and you started pumping the Mayo man for information as soon as you walked into the studio.
I can't mess with this guy, the size of him.
What was that like? It was mad to watch. What was it like to play in?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, yeah. Just loud, you know. I think we had a nice lead at half-time, but within 30 seconds, you could just feel it being chipped away. The crowd comes into it, you know, every result, every, I suppose, free or score that goes over, you know, it gets louder and louder. So then you're just kind of waiting for the game to end. You're just keeping an eye on the clock and watching it count down.
Can I ask, I suppose, playing the rival for so long, did you still feel the intensity in the lead up to it? I know you're going for 4 in a row and you're obviously on the contender list now, but is that the same kind of rivalry intensity for you there? Because it looked like I was watching it anyway. So.
Oh, definitely. Like, I presume is it the 4th or 5th championship game in a row that's come down to a point. Like we were sore 2 years ago at home in a qualifier bet by Mayo by a point, and then we caught them in injury time last year. So like championship games, I think that intensity is always going to be there. We're very evenly matched. Like there's never really anything between us in championship football, and it's tough to come up the road away from home and win. So it was a hot game. It was tough.
You said the composure down the stretch. 80% was actually the conversion rate for Galway in the final quarter. Mayo had just gone through their purple patch, 75% into quarter 3, and they missed their chances in quarter 4, as Lee was mentioning earlier on. What are you thinking in that patch? If you've 5 chances, you score 4 scores. Is that something you're working on training? Pork mentioned in the interview beforehand.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I think like with the game the way it is now, I think every time you get the ball, you need to be working a score. So. If that's up at 70 or 80% per possession, or like every time you get the ball, that's pretty good. But the hardest thing is to finish them. So like I didn't know that we were 4 from 5 going down the stretch. It's huge. I'd say the one we missed was probably the one I missed. So
you earned the right to take it after some of your burn summer runs. So.
Yeah. So it was that's impressive, and I think like Lee McHale coming on off the bench, a young lad to kick the winner, I suppose, as it is huge for us. So fair play to him.
But there were quite a few key moments in that final 10 minutes, as Paul said, after you'd kind of settled things when Mayo had their third quarter. We've picked out a few of them. Can you give them from your perspective, from being in the heat of it all?
Yeah, well, I think I know you probably see it, but Dylan McHugh's block, that's the Connacht championship. No, it's not a score obviously, but it's massive. Like that's the win and losing the game. I think and Conor Gleeson's save obviously here too.
How many steps did O'Shea take there? We're trying to
oh, no one asked.
Yeah, no, Conor Gleeson, as goalkeeper, look, last year he kicked the winner first, and this year he between the two lads, that's the win of the game. So we're always very quick to praise the guys who put the ball over the bar, but that's incredible.
Phenomenal.
And then composure to get that ball out. So
it's almost textbook, isn't it?
Yeah, that's technique. That's everything. It's wanted to die on the ball, that's huge.
An assist by yourself as well, Killian.
a handoff or an offload, and then Limo, on his left foot, that's on his weak foot.
Like you mentioned introduction to Limo as well. Peter Cook, I thought, was brilliant for you. He added such stability very much in the stretch. To bring a guy like that off the bench is just phenomenal, and just shows your squad depth. So I'd say training must be intense. Keep the jersey, intense. Lads getting the jersey and so on. So
yeah, I don't know. There's a battle on every day. I think even during the league, different lads like Finney O'Lee was going really well for us. Daniel O'Flaherty was going really well. So it's crazy. The competition is there, and you see we finishing the game strong. Cookie got his hands on some big balls, carried the ball out. Didn't panic on the ball, and like I said, Limo kicking the winner. So yeah, our panel is strong tonight.
There's a lot of chat this week about the provincials finals, the group stages being announced beforehand, and we were chatting earlier saying players won't be even thinking about that until probably now, but. Now that you are going into the Group 4, which is the Ulster loser, Dublin, Derry, what's your thoughts on that group?
It's a tough group. I think every group is going to be tough. But I think if you want to be a contender, you want to play in the big games, you're going to have to beat these teams eventually. So there's no point in trying to avoid teams. You just have to meet it head on. And look, I think we're in a good place. We bet another Division 1 team today and Roscommon last week. So look, we had a rough end of the league against some of the top teams, but we kind of regrouped again, and the championship kind of restarts again. It's great to win today, but unfortunately, with the structure, it doesn't count for much again. You're going into a tough group.
Just before we let you go, it was obviously a very difficult finish to last year. You talk about the difficult finish to the league and what it's like within that squad. You have lost a couple of big players to injuries as well. What is it like within that camp? I mean, what is the feeling there amongst all the players, and how do you come together and come out and continue to produce performances as you have done on a consistent basis?
Yeah, we're missing obviously a couple of our forwards today, in Damien, Shane, John Heaney. We love them lads. We love when they're fit and available, but I suppose the team is changing, no more than myself, we won't all be around forever. So, and Matty Thompson, was unreal today again as a young fella playing in his kind of first really big championship game. So the panel keeps evolving, and you just keep loading new players. Like I said, we love when we have everyone fit, but the way the season is now and the intensity of the games, it's just not going to happen, and you just can't it's not a distraction for us. Like, them lads will get themselves right. Like, they're putting in so much work. It's tough to see when they keep kind of getting knocks and niggles, but you know, we've faith that, you know, they get themselves right and they're available, then hopefully we'll find a place for them again.
Oh, that's very
I was going to say
said.
all the best there, but
Keelan McDade, you enjoyed the celebrations of 4 in a row, and the very best of luck with the rest of the season. Maybe we'll be chatting to you in studio again soon.
Cheers.
Well done. And we've plenty more to analyse from this game as well in just a couple of minutes' time.
AIB, proud sponsors of the All-Ireland Senior Football Championship.
I was so glad she arrived.
This girl was going to help us.
She was Mary Poppins.
Everything that she said was a lie.
Serial fraudster Samantha Cooks.
Harry Jade Williams.
Lucy Fitzwilliam.
She's gone from tone to tone. Pure con artist.
It was all lies.
I just went.
I slept with a hatchet beside my bed.
Who have we had looking after our children?
A new 2-part documentary, Bad Nanny, starts Monday, May 12th on RTE1 and RTE Player.
So she holds the rectangle up to me, and then she looks at the rectangle, and then she holds the rectangle up to me, and then she looks at the rectangle, and this goes on and on.
Yeah, they keep flashing in my eyes.
Hey, Ted. How are you?
Bad.
We all do the same things with our phones, so get the same coverage and reliability of a big network, but with the great value and service of Tesco.
Oh, nice hat.
Don't. Just don't.
Think you don't like this tasty looking Pepsi Max? You're probs wrong. If 73% of Ireland prefer the taste of Pepsi Max, you probs prefer Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max. Thirsty for more.
I'm gonna need Larry.
Larry, sort you out.
Has anyone seen Larry? Larry?
Larry? We'll have him back Tuesday.
Good luck.
Woodies. We're all homemakers.
I take you,
Hey! I'll be back in a second.
Oh, you love them.
Be sweeter than the sweetest with the new Lynx Fine Fragrance Collection.
You might expect a delicious sounding description here, but do we really need it?
Time for a new pair again. Kids don't stop growing. It's costly. Save cash on Vinted with millions of deals on new again toys and clothes. Want it? Buy it on Vinted. Download the app. Yeah, broken down in the middle of nowhere.
No, we'll miss the whole party.
Yeah, look, there's nothing we can actually do about it, so...
Genius here, forgot to put petrol in the car.
Classic Dad.
You're welcome. Tow truck guy said 4 hours.
If we're lucky.
I know they're going to hate us. Oh no, there's nothing we can do. Oh look, a tractor.
Good food, good mood. From Aldi.
Full fibre broadband from just €35 a month for 12 months with 99.9% reliability. Now.
It's not bad going, is it? Hi.
There are moments in business that shape everything to come.
10 fish boys!
It's like a factory back here. Our dedicated business teams will always be here to support you.
It's not bad going, is it?
Make a lot of money doing that.
Because the best businesses never stop beginning. Bank of Ireland. Begin.
More celebrations for Pádraig Choice's Galway manager. Although, interestingly enough, his first 2 years as Galway manager, it was Lee's Mayo team who broke their hearts in Connacht finals. Well, they've just won 4 in a row. Here is the Galway manager now.
Pádraig, congratulations. An epic final and maybe a triumph for composure as much as anything else.
Yeah, we're not too sure about that. I think we gave the ball away there at the end a bit more often than I would have liked. But look, what a fantastic game it was. 2 teams going at it hammer and tongs, and we expected nothing else. I know all this talk all week about us being raging hot favourites, but like we knew Mayo were going down to it, and it boiled down to a kick of the ball again at the end. So look, hard luck to Mayo. They'll have a say as the championship goes on, but really proud of our lads, really, really good. And they've won 4 Connacht titles in a row for the first time in a couple of years. But I just thought at the end our substitutes made a massive impact off the bench, and everyone played a part. But it's brilliant. I'm delighted for me, the squad, delighted for all the lads the way they played. And look, it's great that we had a big support here. Our supporters were fantastic there at the end. They kept pushing us on, and look, we eked it out in the end.
You came in with massive expectation on your shoulders. We talked beforehand about form going out the window. Overall, how do you reflect on the performance? And no doubt a battle like that will stand this team quality.
Look, it was a brilliant match. We knew all week, there's always people have opinions and all that kind of stuff, and that's welcome, you know what I mean? But we knew internally ourselves that these are serious players Mayo have. We knew they were going to come out all guns blazing. They're a proud county, and we weren't going to come down here today and get it soft. And we earned every score we got, every single score, and that's from the officials and Mayo and everything. We earned every score we got, and look, we're delighted to come out of it. And I'd say it might be the last battle that Galway and Mayo have this year yet.
Another step on the journey, and a big chapter for this squad. Everyone's raised on the team of the 60s, and it's massive to emulate that group.
Look, it is, but again, those lads in the 60s went on and won 3 bigger trophies than we haven't done that yet. So look, we'll enjoy today, we'll enjoy tonight, enjoy tomorrow, have a bit of crack with the lads, and look, we'll focus on, I think it's Dublin at home then in Saturday week, and look, we'll get ourselves ready for that.
Finally, last day it was Shane Walsh, today it's Damien Comer. I'm asking you about, will he be fit for that Dublin game?
Look, we have 26 lads there today. I think the talk should be about them lads, the 20 lads that come on and play the game. I think there was heroic performances there by lads that played, lads that started, lads that come on, and look, if they're fit enough the next day they'll be included. If not, we seem to be okay.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
He got more composed himself as that interview went on. We mentioned with Killian some of the key moments towards the end of the game, but there were some very, very key ones in that kind of middle sector after the strong start to the second half for Mayo.
Yeah, the big one here, Davinieri, who was so busy all afternoon, but he gets his point, but all he has to do is look to his right. He has 2 free Mayo players, and that's at a huge moment of the game. That's put Mayo ahead and then potentially into game-winning time as well. So this for me is a very controversial call. Me personally, in the snap of Mayo bias, I think it's a 2-pointer. I think the ball crosses the bar, if I'm totally honest. So
here now.
And as Enda said, it's a stupid rule anyway.
Silly rule. Very clever from Gleeson.
But under the rules, you reckon, regardless, it should have been a 2-pointer,
Absolutely.
even the rules as they start.
Yeah.
So.
And then again, we move down the stretch here again. Galway looking for big players to come in. Keane here, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant on Aidan O'Shea. I thought he was fantastic. He was really strong tackle. But again, it's the space Mayo are affording Galway late in the game when they're trying to chase. And a lovely hand pass here. And the guy that sat beside us, I thought he was heroic in the second half. Yeah. He was one of the contenders with Paul Connery for man of the match. He was absolutely heroic. And Paul, you can take this one.
And this one here, your ass is okay. They got a bit of, change from the short kick out earlier on, but why go short there if it's not 100% on? Why leave yourself that exposed? And look, for me, it's definitely a black card. There's no question marks about the foul. But at that point there, it's a level game, 1-14 apiece, and all you're looking for. Bomb it long, compete for it. If you lose it, you're not that exposed. You did not need to force that kick out. And they're the moments that kill Mayo.
Yeah, the two of you were so frustrated at that. Why would they have gone short in that instance?
They worked so hard to put themselves in position to win the game, and then they do that. And then as we look at the stats, they had opportunities, and maybe just something it's in Mayo that we just couldn't see it out.
And a lot of the time you have to force chances that are half chances because you're a man down, and you're under that bit more pressure. But that was the moment. They just did not need for that to happen.
I think this year will really hurt Mayo more than last year. I think they had a huge opportunity today. Gaul have been really tanked up as big and rightly so, but Mayo today will have a huge regret for me. I think the game was there for them. I think they had the opportunities to win it, and they still left behind them.
Having said that, though, nobody gave them a chance whatsoever. I know Pádraig said he didn't know where that was going from, but it's coming from the way they've performed on the whole this year.
I think, but
There's no room for moral victories.
No, but what I mean is, did they not show they're capable of more than perhaps we've given them credit for?
Well, like, all you have to do is go back to last year's Connacht final, kick of a ball. You know, Killian said the same thing here. Then you go back to the league. Mayo were in league final. So Mayo aren't a bad team overnight, but they're doing things that are not making them a better team. And as a result, then they're not getting past the quarter final. They're not getting past the provincial quarter final. They're not winning the Connacht medal. That's the stuff that they've left behind. And they were in big games last year where they had opportunities to win it, and their season fizzled out because they couldn't see it out. And today is another example of not seeing it that game when it was there.
Just I want to finish off on Galway because they're Connacht champions.
I was going to say, I think that's the kind of, they need to bank that memory of winning that game, because they're going to get themselves into games like that later on in the year. And whether they like it or not, they've lost 2 All-Ireland finals, and they need to figure out how to win the big games and when they go on to the next level of the competition. So they need to bank the memory of what happened here today and hopefully bring it forward for themselves.
Yeah, well, they have won another big game here today. Kerry have won another big game down in Killarney. They are Munster champions. Galway, of course, are Connacht champions. We'll find out who are going to be champions of Leinster and Ulster next week. We have a full weekend of live action for you, the Saturday game and the Sunday game next weekend. But do make sure you join Damien this evening for highlights of across this weekend on the Sunday game from 9:30. For now, thank you to Lee and to Paul, and a very goodbye.